Ooh, did I? Hi
Hello, hello,
everyone.
hello, hello. Trying out my glasses. My son hates
Lovely.
my son hates these.
They look lovely.
My son hates them. Hello
Mm.
everyone. Hello. Ian
I'm
Davenport, good to see you. We have a birthday girl in the chat. Who is the
who
birthday
is
girl?
the birthday girl?
Who is the birthday girl? Ah, that's the first. Hi, and thank you, Phil. Oh, I'm good, thank you. That's good. Ian
Mm.
Davenport, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing okay. It's good to have you here. Hopefully, this is going to be a good stream because we're
Mm.
going to be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it. Wait for it. What
Mm.
are we waiting for? Hey. Oh, is it midnight
Goddess.
goddess's birthday? Midnight goddess, is it your birthday?
Hmm.
Whose birthday is it? Wait for it.
I
He said
wonder.
wait. So we're waiting.
Oh, no, a bit
While
far.
while we're waiting, let me pull out my yes, dog, I have responded.
Yeah.
Dog eyes, I have definitely responded to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about mm, mm, mm. Oh no, it's not your birthday. All right, Midnight Goddess. Apparently, it's someone's birthday. We have a birthday girl in the chat. So I don't know whose birthday it
Whose
is, but
birthday is? Mm-hmm.
look at the trees. Therefore, God.
Hi. Look at the tree.
Yes. Hello and good to see you. Godless sewing. Hey. Okay, something I wanted to do. Godless sewing. I'm going to Godless sewing, are you a mod in the chat? If you are, please put the link to your channel. For those of you who enjoy craft and sewing, I
Mm.
recommend Godless sewing. I wish I could sew. Behind me here, behind the laptop is my um behind the laptop is my sewing machine, but I can only sew straight stitches. I wish I was that clever. Let me just show you. See if you can see. This is my don't know if you guys
Oh
can
no,
see.
it's blocking out
Upside
the
down is because of the
the
thing.
the green screen thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me take
not.
off the green screen so you guys can
You can
see.
see.
You can see the hey harmonica man. Hello, good to see you. Gosh, this green screen thing ain't good at all. Hang on, let me virtual
You're
background.
saying none. You're saying none.
Okay, so
Right.
none. Right. So that's it right there. That's my machine right behind the I only do straight stitches. I'm
That's what
hopeless.
she said.
I only do straight, just very
Yeah.
straight. The stitches are always very straight.
You do
Straight
straight
stitch.
stitches too.
I wish I wish I had
Crazy.
someone showing me what to do. Let's see.
Mm.
Okay, we need to get started.
Mm-hmm. Hi, dog.
Is dog here?
Yeah. Hi,
Hey
dog.
dog. Hello.
We're like, thank you.
What's up?
Can't
Mm-hmm.
even thread the machine. Now that's something I can do. I've learned that. I learned how to thread the machine. So
Mm.
Godless Sewing, if you're still there, please put the link to your. We're waiting. Who's the birthday girl? I'm waiting to sing the birthday song for the birthday girl. So I am waiting for the birth. Anyway, my mic is ready, waiting for the birthday girl.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful machine. I'll teach you whatever you need to know. Oh, it's just a simple
Oh,
brother machine. But I don't. It just sits
it
there.
might might have functions that you don't realize they have.
Okay. Please put the link to your channel. Godless sorry. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
this is not going to work. My son says these glasses look like windscreens. So
Oh
no.
gosh. Oh my goodness.
Says, Mom, your glasses look like windscreens. So nope, that's not gonna work. No, 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 no. Just
Mm-hmm.
too big, too big. All right, can we get started? We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
sex tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Not just sex, but
Not
also why.
SETS.
No, not SETS and not SECTS. No,
Right.
SEX.
X. Mm-hmm.
Why is God obsessed with sex?
Mm.
Why is Christianity, why is religion obsessed with
Mm-hmm.
sex? For people who promote the whole idea of going into the world and multiply, why do they have so much trouble with? It's okay to say
Mm-hmm.
go and multiply, but hello, you need the act to multiply, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish I could sew. I stopped when I lost the use of my use of your left hand.
Oh,
Sorry to hear that. So
sorry to hear
sorry to
that.
hear that. Oh wow.
My.
I can still use my hands.
Mhm.
Honestly, I've got fabrics. I've got tons of fabrics. No, not as much as Godless on Jesus Christ. Okay, can we start with the video?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You got it pulled up.
Oh, yeah. I have it pulled up. Let me share.
How's everyone doing today? I hope you've.
Can I just quickly say that the obsession with the sex is also to do with control again.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
another form
yeah.
of control
Control.
through
Yep.
um, yeah,
Natural.
obviously we've gone through this many times. I've gone through this with you many times. Yesterday, if you
Yeah.
oppress such a natural
Natural.
instinct as
Mm-hmm.
as sexual activity, and
Yeah.
it's an instinct. It's not it's not something that
Yeah.
you forced or told to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing is, it's going to mess you up psychologically, and it's an urge that all teenagers have, especially after puberty. Go on, play the video.
You might need to move it forward a bit because they start off just maybe
Hello
go
and welcome to the
five
Digital
minutes
Free
in.
Thought Radio.
Give it at least a good few minutes because someone else joins in. This Ty, Richard, Eric, and
Why are there
Dr.
so many
Ty.
Christians so invested in purity?
There you go.
And then
it's a good place to start. So there's Dr. Ty, John Richard, gosh, Eric, and what's the other gentleman's name?
Larry Rhodes.
Larry Rhodes. Yes, it is Larry. Okay.
Okay.
I thought these were the last two sections that are really important for me. From the push for virginity from a very young age to the obsession of the dreaded wedding night, to adolescents being told to keep their lustful thoughts away, it almost feels as though they want to talk about sex in a nosy, morbidly curious type of way. It's like their own passion and curiosity is burning a hole in their chests, so they just got to talk about it. Let's talk about that then during the show. So a lot of topics here. Go ahead, John Richards. We'll do first impressions and then we'll deep dive into the specifics of the comment itself. John Richards.
You quoted the word. You used the word "nosy" from the quote in the text that the viewer sent in, or the listeners sent in. And I'd like to reinforce that, because my attitude is that these people like to stick their noses in other people's genitalia.
Okay. Any other general thoughts before we do a deep dive? Eric, do you have ideas of like the concept of sex obsession with Christians, even as a taboo subject?
Yeah, I've always felt it kind of goes contrary to human biology. It's an odd thing to. Yeah, I think obviously there's some need to have people not masturbate. You know, when they're younger, and in older times it made sense. You know, you didn't want to waste the seed, so to speak. But
waste the seed. Yeah.
Nowadays,
so limited.
right.
We want all of our followers to have incredibly high blood pressure and like be very awkward around the opposite sex. It's very bizarre. Larry, go on ahead, weigh on.
All right, let's talk about that. The sin of Onan is what they talk about when they're talking about masturbation, but it wasn't about masturbation. It was about obedience to God. In other words, God wanted him to marry his brother's sister after his brother died and have children by her. Well, he did not, quote, finish inside her, and he finished himself, basically. But that was, and God punished him, but it was because he didn't obey God, not that he, did the masturbation thing. So it's.
Wait a second. So are you saying Christians misconstrued something? Huh? They misconstrue something even from their own textbook? That never happened.
Because it seems like sex is the one thing that Christians forbid, and without any biblical reason, they have to manufacture reasons for it.
John Richards, get in here.
Just
I think I know the reason for that.
Stop for a second. Just stop for a second, and just guys, just come with me on this little analogy, okay? Just come with me. So think about a man who has a brother, and his brother is married, right? His brother and his wife love each other, and something happens. His brother is killed in, maybe a horrible events. I don't just imagine. Okay, brother is killed, and now he's the brother's widow is, she's there on her own, and now the culture tells the man that he's got to take on his brother's wife for himself. He's got to have sex with her. So think about this. This is a man who has just lost his brother, still mourning and grieving over his brother. Now, this is a woman that he never thought this woman would one day be in my bed. But now she's in his bed. So he's got to change his mindset from seeing this woman as a sister-in-law to a bed mate. Right? Now she's on that bed, legs spread open, and here he is thinking about his brother, who he has lost.
During the marriage, he may have thought that his new sister-in-law was a right old boiler, a proper woofer.
He probably hated her.
Dog. But yeah, they're forced to that. It's very weird practices have gone quite recently through Christianity, especially in America. They're still marrying off young girls as young as 11 to older men with parental permission. With this young girl's parents' permission to marry the right guy, she can get married and be sexually abused like that. This is in America. Granted, like in the Bible Belt part of the state, but recently, as 50 years ago, young girls in religious families would have a dowry, and she would be paid off. Your first date with the priest would go on your first date to make sure no shenanigans happened. It was all above board and nice. Also, there'd be no kissing and things like that. And also on the wedding night, the morning after the wedding night, the man was obliged to hang the bed sheet out
Mhm.
of a
Oh
window to show
gosh.
Oh God.
the blood on the sheet that this girl's hymen was broken and she was indeed a virgin.
But 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 the
Well, Phil,
problem
sorry.
with the problem just what you just said. The problem with that was that there were females who hymen will not break or not necessary
Mm,
because there are different sizes
right.
and there will be no bleeding and then they will get accused wrongfully of not being a virgin and then
Hmm.
of course get castigated or whatever, marginalized or whatever, depending on the society, what type of society it is and what rules and dogmas they enforce. So
Okay.
a lot of females,
To be fair, Phil, it has nothing to do with dogma. It has nothing to do with dogma. This is all enforceable control
yeah,
Enforceable
through the
control.
church.
but they use the dogma to enforce control.
Yeah, but
Mm.
this was none of this was mentioned in Scripture or the Bible. It was go forth and multiply, and that was it. Obviously,
Exactly.
the other things that are laying with the beast or another man and things like that. These were brought up but also a woman has to marry a rapist.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is supposed to marry
sick,
her rapist because she's ruined for the man
ruined,
ruined it for
yeah,
marriage. It's all pretty sick
it's
stuff, and
sick.
it's a serious for people who don't have sex who are sexually repressed. They are very obsessed with it. They are
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
completely
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
I was still carrying on with my analogy. Now this is a man who now has to ride his dead
well,
brother's wife,
mm-hmm.
right?
And she has no say.
And of course he has no say.
Mm.
Now, on top of that, he's got to make sure he ejaculates inside her.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a God who's up there watching. Because of course this is not a private affair. How
Mm-hmm.
did God know that this man ejaculated on the floor? How did God know this information?
Because God's a known pervert. He knows everything you do.
So
Yeah,
so
according.
Onan was killed for this.
Yeah,
But
killed
then
for
think
that.
about it. What kind of, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's
what
just
kind
carry
of
on with the
God?
video because
Mm-hmm.
that would just properly get me really upset. So no.
Because masturbation makes you deaf. So of course he couldn't hear what God was saying.
Masturbation
Okay,
makes
so
you
this
deaf.
is a new thing for
Blind.
me. So I heard blind. I've not heard deaf. So is
Blind.
that how it is
I've
in Europe?
heard
Oh,
Do they
blind.
say it makes you deaf
what?
in Europe? Is that the?
I
Whoa.
haven't heard that.
What did he say? I didn't
Imagine
hear him.
Okay.
That masturbation makes
makes
you
you deaf.
deaf. And then Dr.
I never
Ty
heard
says
that.
I've never heard
masturbation
that.
makes you
You're
blind.
blind. Yeah, I've heard that when I
I
was
didn't.
young
What,
Very
in
soon they will
church.
say now that masturbation gives you cancer, masturbation
Yeah,
gives you stroke,
but
masturbation gives you heart attacks, masturbation, just blame it all on the masturbation. What the
because it's
hell?
again control, as Doug said, it's all about control and fear, using fear to control, right? And I remember even reading that in a book, a
Hmm.
Christian book on masturbation when I was younger, investigating whether or not this thing is sinful or not.
Intellect.
And they said, yeah, it make you blind, and but the deaf thing I didn't hear
AD.
before.
but,
Honestly,
That's
just
all
blame it all
fear,
on the
fear.
masturbation.
but you
Yeah,
got to
but it's
bear in
just a
mind.
fear control.
Crazy people.
You got to bear in mind that all the depravities that we see now on Pornhub and things like that was happening back in the Roman orgies. It's free for all. It didn't care if it was a man, a woman, donkey, or whatever. You get hold of it and you fuck it. That was it.
Hmm.
Maybe the
Gosh.
Roman rub it in oil and that's it. But you know, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, all what went on there, sending angels down to entrap the men and kill them. Bestiality, we know, there's gays. It's all crap.
It is
All
crap.
crap.
Absolute
It's all
crap.
crap. And
And
Because it,
you know why I know that story is crap, right? Just think about it. God that is in his heaven, right? So
mhm.
he couldn't, God for some reason just never has control of his heaven. In heaven, Satan was
Yeah,
able to was able to rise
it's
up
a run
against
rock.
God.
Yeah.
Now, in the same heaven, there are angels escaping from there to come and have
Mhm.
sex with the females down on earth. But God is there. What's he doing? Why is he not keeping tabs on his angels? Why is he not able to stop them from coming down to sleep with the
Correct.
women? And so
Mhm.
when the act happens, let me ask you a question now, right? Now, who instigated the sex? Was it the angels or was it the women? Did the women go up to the
Mm-mm.
heavens to go find these angels, or did they come
Nope.
down?
They came
So
down.
right, so they come down, so they're the ones instigating, they're the ones doing the now let me ask you, what part of the scripture were those angels punished? What
Mm.
part of the scripture do you
None.
see that the ones who came down left their daddy's heaven, their creator's
Mm.
heaven, and come down to have sex? Please show me where those angels were punished.
Eh, was it in Jude?
There is
They talk
none.
about that. I don't think
There is
so.
none.
well, there's also no sex in heaven either, is there? They don't talk about that. Who wants to go there with that? Who, if that's not happening either?
So now these angels, after having sex with the women here, now not only do the women get punished, then the men, plus the children, plus everyone, God just decides that he regrets making him something that he should have prevented. He should have stopped his angels from leaving his heaven. He should take the blame. Anyway, never mind. Let me just calm
Wow.
down. Let me calm.
Hmm. Wow.
Well, I'm going straight to heaven anyway because my ding dong doesn't work anymore. So, boom, no
Off
more
you go
sex for
to
me
heaven.
wherever. No more masturbating. There's no point.
Okay, nice.
It doesn't work. So,
I,
yeah, I'm going to heaven for a sexless existence forever.
If it was a
Uh,
better place, I'd have said, say, reserve a spot for me. But no, no
I'd
thanks,
sooner
dog.
I'd
No,
sooner go.
I don't want a spot
I'd
in that
sooner be in
place.
hell and being tortured. There'll be more fun and there'll be sex and debauchery
Hmm.
and a great existence down forever down there. But getting up every morning to go and pray to a needy guy who just wants to be loved by everyone. If you don't love him, because God obviously he wipes his own browser by killing everyone in floods.
Idiot.
That's how he does it.
What an idiot.
Instead of wiping his browser like we do, he wipes his by just getting rid of the evidence, which is us to say, look, God is a pervert.
What an idiot.
Hmm.
Wipes everything, but everything still manages to be as bad, even worse than before he
Yeah.
wiped it. It just makes no sense. It's such a
No.
Well, this is it.
very
Uh,
useless
yeah,
deity. Very
Yeah.
useless.
Very useless.
And the absolute inbreeding of the Bible, this one little family created humanity as it is today. It's such a ridiculous concept. But they believe it. They do believe it, and I don't think like the likes of Ken Hovins and Ken Hams. I don't think they really actually believe it. I think they just use it to make money out of it
Hmm.
because it's
Other
such a
grifters.
ridiculous concept that I mean, you're talking to Mrs. Noah. Bear in mind, he was a 750-year-old man who got every animal on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Every animal in the world. He got
Yeah, on a
on a
boat.
400-foot boat.
Such
But
a ridiculous
but what
thing
happened to
believe.
the all the insects? Because insects are animals too, right? And then not only that,
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
the sponges in the sea are animals. The flatworms are animals. All of them was on the boat, right? Really, it's because
He also did this for a year. No one thinks of the physical side of this, the physics side.
yeah,
That if you had waters that covered the highest mountain, which as we know is Everest, that would create a G-force factor of 8.
Mm-hmm.
We count our G-force that keeps us on the planet now as 1 at the moment. It's 1G. Where it
yeah.
would be 8G. The actual bulk of the planet would
And
make it
it's
8G,
gravity.
and most people pass out at
Oh,
6G.
yeah,
Animals wouldn't die. A 750-year-old man would be crushed into a peanut. But he
yeah,
managed to, and Mrs. Noah, her vagina must have resembled a butcher shop's waste bin.
Oh
After
my
giving birth to,
goodness.
she would have had to give birth to, at least 3 times a year to quadruplets and
yeah,
onwards, just
yeah.
to make the
To
amount of
replenish.
people. But then the gene pool would be so thin that we'd all
Mm-hmm.
be buck-tooth Republicans, Trump supporters.
Okay, right. Now
Okay.
now we're on to Trump and the Republicans. No, we're talking about sex today.
Sex.
Not Trump
Mm-hmm.
and the Republicans. They can.
I was
Yeah.
talking about inbreeding.
I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
I'm just saying. Let's go back to
The
talking about
inbreeding.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I did my general thoughts about this is it's never really about the thing that's forbidden. It's always the subtext. And the subtext for me is always control.
Right.
I'm trying to do whatever I can
One
to
of you
control
said so,
you.
right?
And so I will give you these
Mm-hmm.
silly barriers to jump over. Don't wear fabric to 2 cloths. Don't wear purple.
Yeah.
Don't eat shellfish on Sundays. Don't tie
Yeah.
knots on this day of the week. Don't have sex
Mhm.
in this way. Don't have sex
Mm-hmm.
in that way. Don't touch yourself this way. And you won't ever get them all. You'll never find a person who's truly following every single rule in the Bible.
Yeah.
Because there's so many articulated points that you have to follow. But it's not about hitting them all. It's about the willingness or the intention to do it, because that gives me power as a person who's giving you the commands over you. And while
Yeah.
you worry about following all the rules, I'm watching you make sure you follow all the rules and taking 10% of your paycheck at the end of the day. John Richards.
Does one sin cancel out another? I mean, would it be all right to masturbate while wearing mixed fabric?
Only if you film it, I guess you'd be a problem there. So yeah, I think it's a issue of control. And if you look back at like Mesopotamia, there's not a lot of other stuff to do aside from herd sheep. The masturbate. So like, what else? What are we really, docking these people for? So let's get into the nature of the question. What's the obsession with knowing about other people's sex lives, and why are Christians so invested in purity? I find that to be a particularly useful point. Eric, why are Christians invested in other people's sex lives? Why is purity such a big deal?
Is it because it's awkward to talk about? Is it? I mean, different societies actually, obviously treat it differently. But and obviously it's changed quite a bit over the years. Some countries, Amsterdam obviously is a little more open with sexuality, and that's obviously grown. I realize I've said obviously like 4 times now, but that's changed kind of quite a bit over time. Does it have something to do with gluttony? Like is there some, like, you're not supposed to eat all the sweets and stuff yourself all the time, so you're supposed to kind of limit the amount of good things you're doing. So as part of it, maybe it feels good, but don't do it that much because it feels so good. It's one of the sins, right? I don't know. Maybe it ties somehow into that. Is it you're supposed to be limiting in how often you have sex or masturbate or whatever? I mean, I wonder if that's part of it. I don't know.
Help me out. So like non-Protestant point of view, you had Catholic upbringing, and I'm wondering like the old school Catholic appreciation of life here on earth is this is a testing ground to determine where you're going to go afterwards. So like the pleasures you get here, the pleasures for your body are nothing compared to the pleasures you can have if you get them from God. And therefore, any way you are feeling good or resolving any sort of pleasure for yourself bodily wise,
Mhm.
that's so substandard and the root of the devil trying to pull you away from the true pleasure, which is being one with God's word and his teachings and stuff like that. Does that sound familiar, or am I close to a basis on that?
I didn't pay a whole lot of attention in church, honestly.
One
so,
with God's
I just
word.
know it as a more hardcore version than Protestantism. That's all.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. So
None whatsoever.
I thought they said there's no sex in heaven. So what kind of pleasure are you going to go have in the presence of God?
Just
What
praising
kind of
him
pleasure?
24 times.
What kind of pleasure?
But that's no pleasure.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be bowing to him
Yeah, and giving him worship
constantly. So
constantly. What pleasure?
he's
That's
the one getting the
torture.
pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting anything.
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct. And people talk
Okay.
about joy in heaven. Is joy what? The only person getting joy is
God.
God. Because he loves his ego to
He loves his
destroy.
yes, he loves his attention, very
Yeah.
attention-seeking deity.
Mm-hmm. Very
He
much
wants your
so.
attention constantly.
Yeah. And I think there's a term for that for persons like that. It's narcissistic.
Ooh. Ooh.
All throughout the commandments, the rules are all me, love me, love me.
Yeah.
Don't love anyone else, love me.
Yeah. Love me above your family. If you don't forsake your family and love me or follow me, Jesus said, then
And if you don't love
you're not
me, you
saved.
will die.
Yeah, you will burn. You will
It's so
die.
abusive. That's so
Oh
abusive.
gosh, it is abusive, and abusive persons
It's
like to
okay.
gaslight
Inquisitor
people
Bacon.
in
It's a
order to
hate
control.
cults. Keep telling people they are nothing
For
more than hate
control.
cults.
It's a control, all about control.
Yeah, they need to control the reason I wanted in on this because we've grown up a Catholic. They're very
Hey, how
interested
we
in
hello.
very interested in every sperm is sacred and all that.
Yeah.
Lack of condoms.
Every sperm is sacred.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what they
But
say.
hang
That's
on,
why they.
hang on. So when a man ejaculates, it's so many, right? There are millions of
Mhm.
the thing.
Well, no,
Only
an
one,
average.
only 1, 2 is useful.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
The average
why make so
ejaculation
many?
estate is 80
Listen.
billion.
This you must think about this whole intelligent design. That's not intelligent designer, in my opinion.
No, not intelligent design.
No.
So you make all these so many
Sperm swimmers, yeah.
and they wasted
Only one
only 1 or 2 or I don't know
two,
how many.
but no more. No, as long as one gets in, it then seals off, so the others can't get in.
So, but non-identical twins, is it not 2?
No, identical
Yes.
twins, right? Will be 2, but
Yeah.
2 eggs that are fertilized by 2
2
separate
eggs are
sperms.
fertilized by 2
Right.
separate sperms.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the twins,
Well,
identical twins.
The identical twins they're split after.
I have
completely split
non-identical
after.
twins.
So you have non-identical twins, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, one's a boy and one's a girl.
Okay. So that was 3.
People did say to me, "Are they identical?" I said, "Well, no. One has a penis."
So that's a good thing to know that dogs swimmers didn't quite go to waste. At least 2 were useful for something.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. with the control. This brings out the humanist, because the average ejaculation is 80 billion sperm. And there's a thing called the Great Egg Race that each and every one here has won. Yeah, because we won that race to that egg in the cervix. And we've ended up here doing this nonsense. But this is where your humanism comes out, because if you waste your life by being controlled by these, these institutions and factions and organizations that are just there to hate on you and take your money, take advantage of you, then thank you. Then there's it's just a life wasted, as far as I'm concerned, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see, and this is why we do this sort of thing, to make because you look at life in a secular way, and an objective way, and in a logical way. That, 900-year-old men, did not talk to burning bushes and all this crap. These people some people need it, some people believe it, but people are getting ripped off, and to control people to even their basic instincts. It is shit on these people. It is really bad, and these poor people fall for it, and they're duped into it, and they give their money and they pray, and they don't do these things, and they're missing out on so much goodness in life. There's so much fun in life that and we're ignoring what's going on with climate change and crap like that. It's just sad that religion has brought us to our knees. Basically, it's a sorry state of affairs, let's say.
Okay, are we going to address this, Inquisitor Bacon? I heard today that it's gay of me to like seeing my wife in pants. Okay, I'm completely lost, not understanding that.
Oh gosh,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Seeing your wife in pants? What kind of pants? You mean like in trousers?
Yeah, in trousers.
To be fair, I like to see Inquisitor Bacon's wife in pants too. So we're both gay, mate.
Oh gosh. Whoever said that is a person who believed that women should only wear a dress. Similar to what I wrote in initially, the Pilgrim Holiness, and not women is not supposed to wear men's apparel, blah blah blah, and all sorts of crap. Right? So I suspect that based on what they told him, that person very likely that sort of fundamentalist type of thinker.
Okay, just quick. Anyway, Doug, Inquisitor Bacon says she does have a nice ass, and he can't blame anyone for looking. So
maybe
look, but don't touch.
But
okay,
they
right.
want to blame her, victim blaming, victim shaming, or whatever.
Okay, all right, let's carry on with the video.
Obviously, the Catholics have a whole issue with birth control and things, which is a whole other piece. But the one thing that comes to mind in what you're saying, orgasm is fantastic, but talk to the guy who has an orgasm like every 30 seconds, every hour. I think there's actually a real person,
a medical condition,
had a medical condition, and it's miserable for that guy. So
that's bad.
If we're going to say, heaven or the eternity or the afterlife is just more of the wonderful things like an orgasm here, then you're probably in for a little bit of hell then, I would think.
Yeah, that could be bad. Okay. All interesting points. We're going to go up to Larry. Listen, why do people care, or why do Christians care so much about purity, virginity? Why is that such a big deal?
I don't know. Maybe it comes back to suffering is godlike. The more you suffer, the closer you are to Jesus. Don't do anything for pleasure, because it would lessen the suffering that you're supposed to go through.
No, that is interesting.
But didn't God have sex with his mum
Mm-hmm.
as a ghost?
Mm. Wow. Yeah.
Was she not also his mom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He came from another dimension, turned himself into a ghost to have sex with his mother, his own mum, unmarried mum, I might add.
His daughter, his mom.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
What, yeah. Yeah,
that
that whole
whole
incestuous.
Mary thing just you know.
Tom Arnold sung a song in a film called "I'm My Own Grandpa." That's basically God.
Mm.
He's his
Wow.
own grandfather, father,
Mm-hmm.
mother. You know, for,
Mm-mm.
for religion, it's about so much crap and demand on sex. It certainly knows nothing about it.
Yeah.
If you understand, it knows nothing about sex. That's all. We're not enough to warrant a relationship
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Right.
but that's my guess.
Like you give us a body that gets hungry and you tell us
Don't eat.
don't eat. You give us a body that
Yeah.
gets horny and you tell us don't masturbate or have sex. You give us a body that,
Mhm.
gets thirsty and you're like, don't drink these things, drink these things. And you're just like,
Mhm.
you're just making me suffer. It's like, that's the point though, because Jesus did that for you. It's like, I didn't ask him to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That guy Jesus, he's very demanding, isn't he? I mean,
Mm.
he, first of all, he wants you to love him, and
Yes.
he came to set mother against daughter and father against son, so that he can have all your love for himself. He's honestly, what's going on there? He-
Sounds like a cult leader.
yes, exactly. He can't take competition.
Jesus is
Not
a
even-
cult leader.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the cult leaders usually
Jesus,
try to
he had his own.
control the
He had
sex.
his own cult. He had his own
Yeah.
cult.
He had his own cult.
He had his own. Well, okay.
Mhm.
Calm down, because some people
Distraction.
now will
It's a
come and say, "Oh, it wasn't a cult." Okay, he had his own posse. His posse of people, right?
Of
It's
people
12 men.
control. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you're pleasuring yourself, that's bad too, because it's not
Right.
him. He wants.
Right.
But what's happening there?
Do you have a storm tonight?
No, I don't know what's
I also
happening
find the
there.
concept of virginity and the way how we use it, at least in Western culture. I won't throw this out to Europe, but like it's a very toxic label that we give both to girls and men. Because for men, we use it as a form of conquest. We define men based on their sexual exploits in a large part, and it's shamed if they aren't a virgin. Flip side, we take women and we put them on a pedestal if they are a virgin, and we shame them if they aren't. And it's like, and then also on the other flip side, if a guy wants to have sex with another guy, like if they game the system, we shame that as well. And it's just like, well, how?
Yeah.
If sex is happening, someone's losing and someone's moving down on the pedestal and someone's moving up
Yeah.
in every instance.
Yeah.
And you set up a whole racket where that's the case. Every single time sex is happening, someone's going up and someone's going down, regardless of how it happens.
I'm sure there's been some polls done on this, because I'm sure I've read somewhere that if you interview men and ask them how many sexual partners they've had, it's always, in double figures or more. And if you interview women from the same population, they've only had one. So there's a mismatch. Somebody's not having it with somebody. I don't know what's going on.
Absolutely. Eric, what's up?
I think we left out one more group there when you kind of went through everyone's losing.
I left out a lot of groups.
If it's both women, I think everyone's winning. And I think
That guy's meeting the wrong women, by the way.
So elephant in the room, I got an asexuality flag here too. There's also another step where it's just like, hey, if you don't feel sexual attraction, people will look at that as if there's something wrong with you. And like the idea of like just not being sexually attracted to anybody is abnormal, when like that is also a normal state. So you could also have a group where when a guy likes a man and a woman who are bisexual, and you can also have the other Punnett square box where it's just not sexually attracted to anything else. I certainly love food and disc golf. That's great too. And music and all that stuff. There's so much more cooler stuff than sex for me. But admitting that even in a public space seems abnormal, but it's also abnormal for me to have this outlook and then look outside and see two things. One, a completely sex obsessed society where I can't even look at a Burger King commercial without it being on like a red carpet with like rose petals falling on top of it, or like a girl in a bikini like driving a Buick truck like on in the middle of a desert. And I'm like, what is being sold to me here? This is very bizarre. But also on the flip side, this very, conservative stance on sex hosted by the most, ubiquitous religious group that says sex is not something that you should use in a bad way or make a scene about. Yet it's sold to us every single time I'm looking at like a Jesus on a cross with like the cut 6-packs pics. Like he's got like abs, he's got long flowing hair, and he's got blood nowhere on his face, but like it's got to be like, it's got to look pretty. You can't make him look ugly. Come on, he's got to be cleanly shaved. I'm like, what? I'm not saying the message is consistent. I'm just saying like it could be if you just guys all got in a room and decided like sex is a good thing, we're going to use it, or sex is a bad thing, we're not going to use it. But don't use it and then also say it's bad at the same time too, because it just seems to make this very weird juxtaposition of ideals.
The Archbishop is here. All hail.
The Archbishop.
All hail.
All hail
Archbishop.
the Archbishop.
Amen, Archbishop. But he is right. I mean, sex is the act of what goes on downstairs has always been taboo because of religion. I mean, even things like simple things like a woman's menstrual cycle and the adverts for panty liners and things like that. They'll use this blue water. I mean, when red water would be more appropriate, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Just things,
yes.
just stupid
they use
things
the
like
blue.
that.
Yes.
Just stupid things like that. When they're advertising a washing powder, they'll show blood on a shirt. This will get out blood, and they'll show the blood on the shirt. But where sexual organs are when it's all about that. It's all been made a taboo subject, and it's not a taboo subject. Sex is fucking awesome, and I'm gutted that I can't have it anymore.
Dr. Cyrus, hey, sorry to interrupt.
Well, Dr. Scouser, so they know all about sex.
But for me, look.
And that guy who's only met women who's only had one sexual partner, either they're under 17 or he's meeting the wrong women.
Right. So, but why can't we just promote having sex and just enjoying sex, just for the purpose of just pleasure? Why is this such a hard thing to do? When I was much younger, when I was a Christian, however, they said you are not to have sex. You were not to, no fornication. You think that stopped anyone from fornicating?
Orthodox
never stopped anyone.
The Orthodox Jews, they cover their woman with head to toe in a sheet.
They cover
the
who?
body.
Who's
they
covered?
Cover the body. The woman is covered totally head to toe. You can't see her hair. You can't see her feet. Head to toe in a sheet, apart from a hole where the groin is.
You mean in what religion? What religion is this?
This is Orthodox Jewish.
Just like Islam. It's like some parts of Islam that puts on the hijab and all these things.
This is Orthodox Jewish. So the guy will hop on and hop off, and sex is basically for
reproduction,
and obviously the man's pleasure, because he needs to orgasm, and the orgasm is a pleasurable thing. The women don't experience any of that. They have a sheet put on them and that's it.
Whoa!
Have a sheet put on them.
That's how we do it's the same. And it's the same when they're on their menstrual cycle. They're basically locked away. They can't cook. They can't do anything. They're basically locked away. They're unclean, sort of thing, when they're on their menstrual cycle.
That concept.
This is Orthodox Jews. The misogyny in Orthodox Judaism and a lot of Islam is quite bad.
Yeah, they see they're following the Hebrew law as far as they're concerned to the letter, because that's what's written in Hebrew laws.
But none of this is in the Torah. None of this is in the Torah.
Yeah,
this is recent things. This is all control again. Because the Jews are renowned for being buyers and sellers of gold and cloth and diamonds, and they still do that now. They're wheeler dealers. They're a Roman race. They're a race that will roam the planet selling their wares. They always have been. To say they don't contribute to the Orthodox don't contribute anything to society in this day and age, it's probably a little wrong to say that. But a lot of people do believe they don't contribute anything to society. It's all about them. It's all about their wheels and deals and their gold and their textiles and the crap they buy and sell between themselves. And obviously they get other people. If you look at most towns in the UK will have a hat and garden, which are usually in these cities where they sell with a lot of jewelry shops and things like that. I know there's one in Liverpool, there's one in London, Hatton Gardens, and they have basically the Jewish run. They're run by the Jews. They sell the jewels. A lot of textile plants are run by Jews, because that's all they've known since for 5,000 years. but the sex thing is recent. That's not mentioned in the Torah, but all this stuff is this form of control that they have to control every part of a person's life, and with the Jews, obviously, it's a misogynistic thing. It's where the woman is not included in any of these things. During a woman's time, the monthly period, as we say here, which is a full stop in America, she's basically unclean, and she's ostracized from the family, the whole family, including the children.
That's just terrible. Oh wow,
Really terrible.
Let's carry on. We still have quite a lot of this video to get through. So
Christians, because it doesn't go together, does it?
No, it doesn't. And like Mother Mary is like the big thing. What about her? Not the fact that she gave birth to an interdimensional, super high, powerful being, that created the universe. It's the fact that she's a virgin. That's the number one thing everyone says about Mary. It's like that's a very bizarre thing. It's like I gave birth to the creator. It's like, yeah, but you're also a virgin. That's what's important about you. I also feel like pushing for virginity at a really young age could lead to a lot of problems too, in the same capacity as not teaching people or not properly educating a person about evolution leads them to have a lot of problems with science down the road, since it's a pillar of biology. Not teaching them about sex or how to have it safely leads to the problem of like unplanned pregnancies, bad parents, children that don't understand or get along with their parents because they're not talking the same language, they don't express themselves in the same way. One's going through puberty, the other one's far past it, maybe going into differing levels of what's the right word for it, non-sexual activity. So it's just like, get over it, it's fine. It's like, no, mom, this is literally the only thing I can think about. What do you guys think about the push for virginity at a really young age by Christians? John Richards, I'll throw it out to you first.
Well, it's not just Christians, is it? I mean, we have some Muslims in our country now, and they're, in many ways, they're even more extreme, because when you get to be 8 as a girl, you have to wear your hijab, just the scarf, because they're fearful, for some reason, weird reason, that the sight of female hair could drive men into a sexual frenzy.
Right.
I don't know what's going on in their minds, but, and so they keep everybody apart from then on. But of course, so sex is a big taboo until you're married, and up until then, of course, as a woman in fundamentalist Islamic cultures, you have to go about in a tent with a man beside you, if you're allowed out at all. And then once you are married, you're pretty much not allowed out anymore.
Yeah.
Yet, when you get to your afterlife, what happens? You get
more
42
sex.
virgins.
Actually, I think it's raisins. I think it was a mistranslation. No, seriously, I think it was a mistranslation.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yes. It's only the boys who get 42 virgins, raisins. Anyway, it's not the girls. They don't get
push for virginity.
So I think talking about Islam is probably a whole another piece we could get into. But sticking with kind of Western civilization, I think it's so clearly to me kind of a backfiring effect. It's at least certainly more recently. I mean, think about Footloose when they were trying to ban dancing.
Right.
See, I don't know what the internet like is playing up today. This is the first time. Let me see.
Internet's having a bit of a problem today.
Yeah, because normally it
Okay.
doesn't. Yeah, what's going
Right,
on
want
there?
to just start all over again, or do you want me to play it on?
1 minute. Let me try refreshing.
Okay. So this idea of telling people you're not allowed to have sex before marriage, right? And
Yeah.
you can't even talk about it, you can't experiment. But somehow when you get to do when you're married, you're expected to become a sex vixen, right? You're
Yeah.
expected to somehow know
Thinking
all
about
the
Islam is probably a
techniques.
whole other piece we could get into. But sticking with
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're supposed to know all the techniques. So where are you supposed to get this information from? To please your spouse and to please your mate. Where are you supposed to get this information from?
Mm-hmm. And the Bible and their scriptures don't tell you, how to. Not even after you're married. It doesn't give no instruction
Mm-hmm.
how
No, it's the
to
Bible.
enjoy sex.
The
It
Bible
is
give you
for
instructions.
creation.
No, the Bible will tell you about God killing. Kill this
Yeah.
and kill that and kill. No,
Mm-hmm.
the Bible's not there to teach you how to enjoy sex. Oh, please no. In fact, the Bible is there to do the opposite, the complete opposite.
Opposite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it said in Genesis, and you shall bear children in childbirth, and you will in pain when you have children. So
Mm-hmm.
the curse on the woman. So from the beginning, it was not even, it's just for creation control.
Exactly. And look at the trees has made a very good point here. I wonder if the virginity complex and obsession lends to pedophilia,
Pedophilia,
since
yeah.
you would probably be seeking young partners more likely to be pure.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Point.
Absolutely interesting. Because the chances of the younger person being a virgin is greater than someone who's older be still being a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Well. All right.
Kind of Western civilization. I think it's so clearly to me kind of a backfiring effect. It's at least certainly more recently. I mean, think about Footloose when they were trying to ban dancing.
Right.
It's just it's you
can't ban dancing. Look at them all. They're so great.
I mean, you make this taboo. You make it something you can't talk about.
Right.
I mean, it enters into early pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases, just an unhealthy relationship with sex because you're hiding it. You're
Well, punishment is a form of control. I mean, if you're going along and you break some rule and you're supposed to be punished for it, then that gives more power to the person who's theoretically controlling the group. So the more rules you have to break, and the ones that oppose most human desires and urges, the more likely that they will break the rules and punishment will ensue.
I also find that it appeases the default, or what is this presupposed default. So if someone says, don't talk about atheism when you go outside, you're going to eventually assume that everyone's Christian just by the virtue of the fact that God,
and that's so one-sided.
Yep. They got Christian crosses they wear proudly. There's Christian radio stations. There's on some license tags on the framing. Like, it's everywhere. You can't go outside at least once, particularly where we live, Kentucky and Tennessee, without seeing Christian iconography or reminders that there are Christians around you everywhere. From Dollar General to
even here in the Caribbean, even on government stuff. Listen, you have government departments that say celebrating, like, for example, the National Assistance Board, which is a governmental run organization. They had a big celebration. Guess what? It started with a church service.
Church service. Oh my goodness.
Also, Dr. Osiris has said, because Phil, you were a Catholic, weren't you?
No, not Catholic.
All
I
right.
was of Wesleyan holiness
But
initially.
you've heard of pederasty, yeah? Catholic pederasty.
No,
use
I
this-
haven't.
I have not heard about
They used
that.
this back in the old days, the Catholics,
Uh-huh.
and pederasty is a Greek word. It basically means lover of young boys,
Oh.
which Dr. Osiris has just brought to my attention.
Okay.
With the taste for
Pederasty.
children.
How do you?
But the Catholic pederasty, it was it's PEDERASTY, I
Okay.
believe. I may be wrong, but if you type in Catholic pederasty, it will give you all the
Catholic
history of it.
pederasty. Ah.
It will give you all the history of how the Catholic their love for their young boys.
Mm.
We know that
Pederasty or pederastry?
pederasty.
T, right?
PEDERASTY.
Ah, right. So it's spelled PEDERA pederasty. Right. Oh wow. Catholic Church child sexual abuse cases. The French Catholic, listen to this, guys. The French Catholic Church inquiry finds 216,000 pedophilia cases since 1950.
Mm-hmm.
216,000 pedophilia. Oh my goodness.
Well, this goes back. I'm going back to I'm going back hundreds of years to the evil popes who had the whore jousting, which you've talked about, and things like that. And your Boniface the Eighth, and the ones that are in Dante's ironic comedies, Inferno, and things like that, are in have got their own levels of hell. They're the popes I'm talking about. And pederasty was a big thing in the Catholic religion, and it is basically a Greek word that means lover of young boys, lover of boys.
Wow.
It's, I'd have to look it up to find out what it is.
In ancient Rome.
We could do a show about the Catholics, but it will go on forever.
Yeah.
They are the most evil of Christian religions. They are the most controlling and demanding, and obviously the richest of institutions on the planet. They got more money than any other institution on the planet. Obviously, it's all tax free, but hey, that's religion for you.
It is
religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Let's move on.
On the license plate.
Yeah, it's on everything.
Yeah.
It's in our government buildings. It's everywhere. But when they say don't talk about atheism because it's a taboo subject, then you begin to assume that everyone who's quiet, even the people on the show, could be Christian, and you have to like tippy-toe around it. I think in the same sense, when they say, hey, don't talk about virginity, don't talk about sex, then the attitude becomes, well, then I imagine that everyone's straight, and that everyone I meet is a guy who is sexually attracted to women, and every woman is this demure, non-sexualized person who can't wait to have babies with me once they get married, right? Or that gay people don't exist, or that asexuals don't exist, or that bisexuals don't exist, or that transgenders.
It's a whole spectrum.
And like all this benefits the default idea of what does it mean to be a man?
Hey,
What does it mean to be a woman? It's a Christian precept because they can be so much more open about their expression when they tell everyone else not to express it. I feel like that's the discordance. What do you think, John Richards?
What you've just described is peculiarly American, because you said there's Christian radio stations, there's Christian TV stations. Well, over here, we have Muslim radio stations, Muslim TV stations, and I've been on them.
Oh, really?
I can play you some clips of me on Islamic radio and television.
Islamic radio? Okay, that's a new one for me. Yeah, that'd be hard to fly in Tennessee and Kentucky, but I think
so,
it'd be good to.
So over there, Christianity is kind of silent, but Muslim is loud.
It used to be. I mean, you could be. When I was young, there was only the Anglican Church and a few very small denominations that were in peculiarly local areas, and Judaism. But of course, since then, we've had immigrants bring their religion to us. And so we've got Muslim communities, Hindu communities, and pretty much everything else, even Baha'i in Manchester and around Manchester area. So we're very cosmopolitan, and it's better because what was happening was the Anglican Church, the established church, was moribund. You didn't really have to believe in God to belong to it. You just went along for the tea and cakes and chatted, you know. And it
Tea and
itself
cakes.
to
Yeah.
by all these alternatives who are much more evangelizing, much more missionaries.
Okay, guys, there's a lot more topics in this comment that I'd like to go to, but let's do it in the second half of the show. How about that?
Sure.
Larry, mind taking this out?
Stay tuned for the second half of the Digital
Oh, sorry.
Free Thought Radio Hour on WOZO Radio 103.9 LPFM here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to the second half of the Digital Free Thought Radio Hour. I'm Doubter 5, and we're on WOZO Radio 103.9 LPFM here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's talk about the Atheist Society of Knoxville, or ASK, for just a moment. We were founded in 2002. It's been 20 years now. We have over 1,000 members, and we have weekly in-person meetings every Tuesday evening in Knoxville's Old City at Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria. Look for us inside at the high top tables, or if it's pretty weather outside, on the deck. We also have Tuesday evening Zoom meetings for those who can't get out or don't live in Knoxville. You can join us. We'll send you the link if you email us at askanatheist@knoxvilleatheist.org or let'schatsE@gmail.com. You can also find Ask on Facebook, meetup.com, or knoxvilleatheist.org, which is their website. Or you can just Google Knoxville Atheist. You'll find us. It's just that simple. By the way, if you don't live in Knoxville, you can still go to a meetup and do a search for an atheist group in your town. Don't find one? Start one. That's right. Where do we want to pick up?
Hey, we're talking about this comment that we got from Cynical Precious regarding why Christians are so obsessed with sex. Some feedback comments that we got on this inside the YouTube channel is from Geophagus. It's not just Christians and it's not just sex. Religions tend to go after our most basic urges and needs. Look at religious rules on clothing, food, and other interactions with other people. You name it. Control those things and you control those people. And I think that's probably the meat and potatoes behind it. One last comment that was on there is it's also to control the women. Control the women is a huge driving force of this. And if you control women, that's half of your population, you know.
That's it. You control the women.
I think it's a meted sexual repression because it's the thing that we probably think the most about, or at least as a species have the most wiring to go towards, because we're all the products of sex, right? And so like it's going to be a part of our lives at some point. And then it's the question of like how are we going to interact with it when it does happen, right? And so if we are designed or trained ourselves to repress these thoughts, it only builds up more pressure when we can't just address it and recognize it for what it is and move on with our lives or take part in it. It becomes like this extra monkey on our shoulder that weighs us down and makes us more reverent or at least acknowledgeable, like, oh, if this weight on my shoulder isn't my sexual oppression, but in fact Satan, then Satan's real because I feel this pressure all the time. And I feel like that's a really bad misconstruing of feelings to hijack, you know? It's an unfortunate thing. And I wish Christianity and other religions wouldn't take part in it. And when I heard about Islam, it also breaks my heart too. But I guess it's the same thing happens in even sex Buddhism, because you don't really see a lot of Buddhist females put on a pedestal, really, right? So like sex is a controversial tactic by a lot of religious groups. John Richards, do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, if it wasn't a good thing, we wouldn't be here, as somebody said earlier, because obviously we are here as a result of reproduction, so it's necessary. Right. And if you look at it from an evolutionary point of view, in order to succeed, all animals that have sexes, but not those who are asexual, but all animals who have sexes have to reproduce. So denying it or making it a taboo is just ridiculous. And if you take some of our closest relatives, the bonobos, for example, the smaller, the smaller chimpanzees, they use sex almost like a handshake. They meet each other and have a quick touch.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine us humans, right? Imagine us humans wanting to just give a handshake, but instead of handshake, you just turn your back and you put it in there. Stick it in. Stick it in there.
Oh God.
Esther, they're only saying things that we've already discussed on here. We know this practice happens, and we should be more. We are animals. We should, we should have the. If you see a dog on heat, all the other dogs in the area go mental. You can smell it for miles around, and they'll fuck each other. Male or female, there'd be a big pile of dogs there just shitting and shagging. It's just that's the way, you know, that's the way the animal kingdom is. It would be nice to go to a bar and sniff a girl's ass and then go out in the back and fuck her, and it was, and then not say nothing about it. That's what animals do. But it's just strange that we do it because religion have obviously got in there and given us that taboo subject. Because they know nothing about biology. They know nothing about how the human body works at all.
Yeah.
As we've said all along, you know, it's the most natural of instincts we have.
But I don't know.
To suppress it or oppress it is going to mess you up mentally.
I don't know if that would work with the human species. I don't think so. People just having sex just willy-nilly with anyone.
Well, that's what we do now.
I don't think so.
That's what we do now, and it works.
No, as in, okay.
Just key
go to greet somebody. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I'm just thinking about myself having sex with everyone I say hello to? That's just
pregnant. Whatever.
That's just.
There's all sorts going on behind closed doors that we don't know of, and we know it all goes on. You know, there's lots of these people with fetishes and dressing up and doing all sorts.
Yeah.
You know, asphyxiation and there's all, you know, wife swapping, key parties, orgies, all goes on.
Yeah.
Dogging.
I only discovered recently what dogging was.
Well, it's just
and spooning.
It's basically I would say, well, spooning is technically just cuddling, really.
Oh,
it's just cuddling into someone's back.
Sorry to hear that. Cannibal say upper respiratory infection. Sorry to hear that. Please make sure you look after yourself. Cannibal say.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
Okay.
I'm going to throw this one out too. Eric, you are really big into design and engineering. And John Richards, you're also into biology. I'm a biochemist myself. I want to throw this out. Like, if God wanted us to only have sex in the way that he approved to have, we could have just simply licked our fingers and touched them at the tips and like transferred all of our genetic information, and that would have been it. But yet he made it where you could have 14 different positions that he doesn't approve of, maybe even way more than that. And it's like, I call this the missionary style for a reason. It's like, yeah, but there's way more other fun ways to do it. And he's like, the main taboo that he has is like gay sex, where it's like, or male gay sex, but it's like, you made a round peg and a round hole, right? Like, you could have like really fixed that. It's like, dang it, I did that thing where I made it. Oh, geez. Okay, well, still don't do it anyway. It's like, you could have fixed that. You could have been a giant knot at the end.
Like he was all knowing and didn't know it.
Right.
But he's testing them. He's testing them, guys.
But he doesn't know the results of the test.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you're gonna mix blue dye and red dye together and get angry when you get purple dye. Like, come on, dude. What are you doing? Eric, what do you think about the design aspect of that, or other thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, as a civil engineer, I wouldn't have put the sanitation system right next to the pleasure system. I mean, that's just but I will say that the other thing that kind of the biology seems to segregate between men and women is men can have multiple orgasms in an easier way than women can. You know, the way the body's designed, it's harder for a lot of women to have an orgasm, which is a poor design. It should be. You would think it would be a 1-on-1. It would just be just as easy for both.
No,
not all women. But
you're just rubbish at sex, slaphead. It's very very easy to give a woman an orgasm. It just depends. You know what you're doing. You know, the sexual ignorance in everybody. The more you do it, the better you get at it. It's simple. And the more you learn how to please your partner or whatever, just by doing different things sexually, that's the way you learn. Yeah, obviously you don't know any of this in religion, especially when you get your wife chosen for you and all of that nonsense that goes on. You don't know what you're going to end up with. It could be anything. But that's the way. That's the way these people think. That's the way these people dictate people's lives through pure ignorance of how biology, common sense works, where sex is concerned, or where anything is concerned. To be fair, they'll never believe in abiogenesis because they are stupid. God created everything. They can't believe that life spontaneously came into being from a pool of amino acids. They'll never believe that because to them they can't fathom, this sort of natural order of things. And it's the same goes with any aspect of a person's life. It's not only control; it's control through ignorance,
Hmm.
and it's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Adia's Space has brought up a good subject, and this just got me thinking, right? So Adia's Spaces, who made up these sex styles, and who teaches these purity keepers how to have first sex? And
When
when I
they're
saw that
married.
first sex, I thought about a 50-something-year-old man and a 9-year-old girl. Because
Wow.
in some religion, in
Yeah.
one religion, the prophet was 50 something, I think, and the
Mm-hmm.
girl was 9 years
9 years
old.
old.
So I mean,
Yeah, but they've also,
that's just
Sure.
they've also
sickening.
got
The
they've also got a
sickness.
10,000-year-old sex manual. And if you ever want to pull muscles you never never even knew you had, work your way through the Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra. Oh
Kama
gosh.
Sutra. Oh.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You'll pull
It's
muscles you didn't even know you had.
how do you begin? How do you begin with a child like that?
You
You must be
know?
very perverse for
Yeah.
you to have a child wouldn't know what to do.
To do
What are we
correct.
dealing with here? The day I heard
This
about the
it.
age, how old that
To,
Aisha, that was it. I don't want
to,
just
to,
He was a
anything else you have to
pedophile.
say. Just don't. I don't want to hear it.
to be
Yeah,
fair, Esther,
Muhammad was a pedophile.
we can call them pedophiles. But if you go back, thousands of years, when a female had their first period, they're sexually ready to bear children, basically.
Mm,
It's through education and through what we believe is a tolerant society that we've added this age of consent and an age where we think children are capable of doing these sort of things. But back in them days, they never had any of this. Didn't have education. They did, the average lifespan even in the Bronze Age was 40, 43 with access to medicine. So like your Caesars and your pharaohs and the people who had access to what they call medicine back then, you may get another 2 or 3 years out of life. But the average
But
lifespan is about 40.
40
but there
years.
was still
40 years. That was an old man in them days. 40 years.
mhm.
So 9 and 10, or
But
a minute
still
a girl was had her period. She was then sexually active as a bearer of children, and that's just the way it is. And but to continue that as they do now, with, especially even in America in these Christian, in the Christian Bible Belt, where with parents' consent. There's no age limit on how old your daughter can be when you give her away to. You can give her away to a 50-year-old man, as long
Right.
as you've got the parents' consent. And obviously there's a lot of religion and to and fro, and this poor girl who should be out riding her bike, playing with her dolls and whatnot.
Exactly. And that's just
It's
crazy.
being forced to have sex get married and have sex with an old man,
An old man.
or through religion. It's just disgusting. Well,
Absolutely.
but back in them days, it was it was a different kettle of fish, obviously.
Right.
You can't really call them paedophiles back then. That's just the way things were, and it's only through obviously education and or being normal. We've slapped this age of adulthood on people. It's 16 here in the UK. 18 for for them to drink. I know some states in America it's 21. Muslim states you can't drink at all, and but then you can't pick your wife in Muslim states. Your wife is chosen for you, and even there you don't know what she looks like, because when you meet her, she's wearing a big head to toe dress with a wind over her eyes. Which one's mine, Dad? When there's a load of them, it's her third from left.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks great.
Let's get a move on.
You see that,
Dr. Cyrus, just 1 second. This code here, what's that for? Because my son has a Switch. He loves his Switch. He's got an OLED. He loves his Switch. I don't know, is it something I can give to him or what? Please let me know. So I'll go give it to him now. It might be something, if it's any good to him. All right, let's carry on. And how much of the video we got left so that we can get through it?
30,
Okay, all right,
20, 20.
Oh, that's all right.
5 minutes.
Okay, that's this.
Obviously, it's just a byproduct of evolution, but if both genders were designed the same way, you would think it would be a easier way to have both achieve that. I don't.
Yeah, and it's not as if it's not possible either, is it? Because if you look at mammals, some mammals use the same passageway to breathe and swallow through. We have a nose and a mouth
like
that
us,
comes together in a crossroad and goes into two pipes, and sometimes goes the wrong way and chokes, and that can lead to death. But it's not impossible to design it better. Look at the cetaceans. They have their breathing hole on the back of their neck, and their mouth only deals
and
with
porpoises
food.
and whales, that type of thing.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So you could say that putting the reproductive aperture next to the urinary and defecation apertures is unintelligent design.
Right. Basically, there are ways you could have designed bodies if we were a product design at all.
Yes.
Where all these things that we consider sin or we're told are sins would never have been a possibility or feasible in the first place.
Yes.
So to make it both feasible, practical, and pleasurable and fun,
Putting the toilet next to the snack bar is not intelligent, is it?
No, of course not. Of course not.
No.
all at the same time for a lot of different people, and then say, but don't do that.
So what does that mean? If the Nintendo Switch friend code, what does that? If the Nintendo Switch friend code, so yes, that would be awesome. I don't know what that means. I wish I could breathe like birds do.
It's probably a problem.
Dr. Cyrus, what does this mean? If Nintendo Switch friend code,
basically there are ways you could have designed bodies.
I give him the code then.
Just give me a second. Is a Nintendo?
So are we going to talk about the pleasure area and the poop area where you for some is it the men? It's the men, right? Even women as well.
The women too.
They're all in the same region.
Yeah.
The one that gives pleasure, the one that gives, all in the same location.
Area.
You know.
Yeah, for the women, it's the snack bar next to the toilet. So.
And it's been known to create problems for some women. It's been known to, to create from time to time problems down there.
Electric cane is right. Why every 28 days does a woman bleed? If anything bleeds for 5 days, it should die, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but then this woman bleeds, and then she still gets victimized for this. She has to stay at home. She has to separate herself because she is unclean.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Wow. Well, this is misogyny.
It's not. It's misogyny.
This is misogyny.
It's misogyny.
Because don't forget, for some women, that period when they're going through this cycle, they are in some serious pain. They're
Yeah.
in serious pain that can sometimes lead to depression, that can lead them to just be in a really very
Mm-hmm.
bad. And then these other people will come along and say, "You are unclean. You get to do this." You can't win. You just can't win. Your biology, but your biology just automatically puts you in a place of just, I don't know. I just
Mm-hmm.
can't. I just can't.
Yeah, can I answer?
Humanist, hello.
Can I answer Doc Osiris's question about what about the male G spot inside the anus?
Where
Well,
is it? I didn't see it.
Mm.
Okay,
well,
so what
Yeah.
about the male G spot
well,
inside the anus?
I'm believing it's a myth because recently I've had so many rectal examinations with my paralysis down there. Is that it doesn't exist.
I doubt. Listen, I don't know anything about that, but Doug, if you're, this is how I think in my head. I'm thinking, if you're in the act of sexual pleasure, that's a different feeling altogether. If someone's coming to put a suppository in your rectum, that's not sexual in any
Oh,
way, shape,
Yeah.
or form. So
suppositories, fingers. I don't know. I'm bent over. They don't even leave their names now. They just come in and
they just stick it in there.
come in. See you later. Close the curtain. Bye.
I know,
Don't
Mm.
even
I
don't buy
know,
me a
and
drink or anything. It's weird.
I know that,
Oh
but you're
gosh.
not trying to. For people when you want to engage in sex, there's a preparation you do. There's the necessary lubrication. There's this, there are things you do. You don't just. There are things you do to get to that
You got
point
it right.
of getting and or hitting the G spot, or
Mm-hmm.
getting to the
Yeah.
maximum climax.
Climax.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's I just feel that two
I just
separate things
I just
altogether.
have fingers stuck up there and people asking me to cough. I think they're trying to see if I've got any pelvic floor, which I don't have at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. I've got no pelvic floor at the moment.
No.
Well, that's incontinence for you, isn't it? Well, go on, carry on.
Okay.
Wow.
If we were a product of design at all,
Yes.
where all these things that we consider sin or we're told are sins would never have been a possibility or
Yeah.
feasible in the first place.
Yes.
So to make it both feasible, practical, and pleasurable and fun all at the same time for a lot of different people, and then say, but don't do that, is the same condition of putting a trap in the Garden of Eden. Like
Yeah.
you put an apple that's delicious, that thing that looks like the thing that people need to eat,
Or
that's in
fruit.
hand reach of a people who can reach for it, but told us not to reach for it and eat it, and we didn't eat it. And you put an animal that can speak our language and told us, hey, you should eat that thing. We did it anyway because you purposely told us not to know what right and wrong is. So we listened to this animal. Like that is by design, like the worst trap you could have ever possibly set up. And one of the most convoluted steps possible. I mean, talking animals, what's going on? Just put the piece of fruit in our mouths already.
Yeah, and it's even worse that he used that excuse to curse the rest of mankind. Not just the people who did it.
Yeah, it's like he set up a game of mousetrap. It's just like you're literally setting this up for failure. It's like, yeah, but that's the point. By the way.
And again, he knew the outcome. He knew it was going to happen. Right.
That made it a trap.
But it's also frustrating when we talk with these Christians. I don't know if you brought this up with your Christian friend on Free Thought Hour, John, but like there are people who, despite knowing all these things, still ardently believe in the goodness of God, in the design of God, in the immaculate design of the universe by God. And it's like, but on the face level, you look at all the basic things that are, if you take it absolutely 100% true, and you just look at what's here and just have a small degree of criticism to it, none of this pulls together.
No.
It's like a Nicolas Cage movie. North movies. Like, I know I know there are a lot of explosions and it looks cool, and Batman did that voice, but none of this makes sense if you just look at line for line. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Interestingly, in the chat Free Thought Hour that we had last night, Alan, the pastor, said he was brought up by his parents who were very religious, and they banned him from watching certain comedy shows on TV because they were a bit disrespectful of religion. But he claims that they brought him up to think critically.
Really?
So what he's done is he's applied his critical thinking to his faith and reasoned his way through the Bible, but he didn't apply it astutely enough or rigorously enough for him to realize that the whole thing is BS.
Yeah.
We just got 2 new comments, and that's a good point, John. That's a really good point, because it's the hypocrisy of it that also bothers me too, right? And so it's disgusting. Anyway, Grand Pen also made a comment on the thread. He says, theism is embarrassed by the curse of merely being human. If pooping and if using the bathroom were voluntary acts, they'd have been deemed sinful as well. And yeah, and then also another comment from Rush MC1. Honestly, most people are obsessed with sex. Christians just come at it from a negative and self-hating angle.
Yeah.
Because it's a natural,
Okay. Thank you
it's
for
a
those comments.
natural thing. It's a natural feeling,
Yeah.
right? For people to be sexual, to want these, you know,
Right, because
you go through this.
and it's like chemical. It's because the chemicals
Exactly.
release hormones and so on. It's natural. Don't you see,
Mm-hmm.
dogs? We are animals. We are mammals. And when you see dogs eat hormonal, is because of hormonal, other animals, hormonal stuff,
You want it
whatever.
on, yeah?
No, that's
Oh,
So
sorry, I thought you said
our
on.
pleasure centers, it's a lot. Our pleasure is coming
or
through chemical stimulation in the brain, and the other parts of our body, and so on. So to make this thing dirty or dehumanize people because of having these feelings and taking certain actions is sick.
But, you know, also as human beings, we're not a monogamous animal.
Right.
We're polyamorous. You know, monogamy is forced upon us by marriage and you know, one partner at a time, things like this, through religion. As Esther knows it, Phil, I think we've discussed this many times. I'm well versed on this. I know this stuff back to front, and basically, you guys have got this. The lights have gone out here, so I'm gonna sit and chat. And the black guy, I don't know, I can't remember his name. Basically saying what I say anyway, usually about sex in the Bible, and
His name's Dr. Ty.
yeah, he's basically parroting what I've said all along.
Yes.
So I'm going to sit and chat, and you guys have got this because it's lights out here now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll only be in
coming
chat.
in.
I'll come back in if it's
Okay,
if
you've got the
Yeah.
link anyway. So
Yeah.
love you guys.
all right,
Love
thank
you
you.
too, Doug. Yeah. Thanks. Oh boy.
The Book of Enoch.
Yeah, the Book of
I
Enoch.
bought the Catholic Bible recently, so I
Okay.
turned the camera off to go look for my my Catholic Bible, thinking it was in there, but it's not in there. The Book of Enoch is not in the.
I
Gosh,
think
what
yeah,
are we
you have
really
it
having?
downloaded somewhere, PDF.
Septuagint
The
reading. Okay.
Septuagint.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. All right, let's carry on. Sorry.
Okay.
You know,
we've got to be obsessed with sex, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Well, you know, here's my thought. I appreciate him saying most. There are people who aren't obsessed with sex, and it's not an abnormal thing to not be obsessed with.
Well,
and I want to just make sure that's a point too.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't mean it's compulsory. What I meant is as a population. You know,
there you go. Yeah.
Right.
It's been a successful way, and even if you don't have an obsession with it, doesn't mean that you can't do it or that you're waiting for it, going through a phase. It just means like, no, it's okay to not be obsessed with it. It's okay to look at it in a positive light too. And I feel like what Christianity does is give us a starting pack of cards that are so bad that it basically weighs our impression of sex moving forward. What I really also feel bad about too is the idea that sex is something that men, or how to put it, because it's used to control women never really get to see it at the table in terms of actually enjoying it pleasurably. And we don't have obviously there's no women on the show, but I do feel like there's no voice to a woman that enjoys sex, because a man can talk about it in a way where it's like a pleasurable experience. I had all these orgasms, it was great. But if a woman does it, the societal context is, well, if this is a person who is morally not astute and not good and problems with them, and I feel like that lack of gender equality is also really, really bad too. I'd be really happy to live in a society where we get rid of this, you know,
Double
patriarchal
standard.
look at it. Yeah, it's a really bad double standard. New comment,
It
patriarchy.
is. Let's
on patriarchy. One thing
let's
men
talk
have
about
trouble
that.
giving birth,
Let's talk
so
about
they
that
can't.
double standard, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
about a man being a player, right? A man
Mm-hmm.
can go off and have as many women as he wants.
Yeah, as you want. Yeah.
But the woman does exactly the same. Oh my. She'll get called names. She'll get called a prostitute. I don't even want to think about. In
Yeah.
Africa,
Maybe.
don't even think about. The man can go out and
Wow.
smoke. The man can go out and
Smoke.
smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But a woman smoking, people will walk up to you and tell you to your face, you're a woman. Have
Oh
some
gosh.
respect for yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, people will walk up boldly to you and tell you to your face how they feel about a woman smoking. That's not something.
Mm-mm.
A friend of mine smokes, but her husband has no clue that she does.
Mm.
Her husband doesn't know, because if the husband had to know, she's supposed to be the pious housewife, but
Oh
he doesn't have a
gosh.
clue.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. And see, again, it's all the misogyny, and all of this is misogyny and control.
Hmm.
The blaming the woman for sexual encounters or having sexual feelings in a man, and a lot of it is sick
Yeah.
because it is all about control. So as you just said, man can go have as multiple women as he want, but um, the woman, wife, no, spouse or partner, no. That's not, because again the misogynistic sort of thinking, and that's what also leads to abuse of women in relationships. That sort of misogynistic thinking is one of the factors that will lead to the abuse of women in a relationship, especially in Christianity or in religion, especially if the religion is one of misogyny, have misogynistic patriarchal ideas. So it's really sad that these things happen, and that's where we as atheists, humanists, agnostic, free thinkers have to break and normalize these things within society. Got to push back against the those sort of religious sorts of thinking, because then Christians feel their privilege, as Tyrone said earlier, they feel
Hmm.
privileged that they wear a cross, and they expect everybody to be Christian and all sorts of things. And when the persons declare they don't believe in a God, or they're not Christian, then they're looked down upon, or people say, "Oh, but you need to serve God. You need to become a Christian. You going to hell if you don't." No
Terrible, right?
respect. Yep,
Mm-mm,
very
mm-mm,
terrible.
mm-mm.
And then the problem is too, they are passing this sort of thinking into the public schools, especially when you don't have the required separation of church and state,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You
and
just
feeding the young
pass it
children
on to the
this
next
crap.
generation.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well, let's
Let's
just
continue.
carry on.
Can't be certain they are the father. In the absence of paternity tests, shaming women into monogamy and abstinence before marriage is clearly the best solution.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's another point too. It's just like, hey, it's a good way to control women. If we can't have birth control pills, even though we have them now, the other thing we can do is shame them into monogamy and abstinence,
Yeah.
which we know doesn't work very well either. So it's just a really bad setup.
And that, what you've just outlined there is really all about property. Men want to know who their offsprings are, so that they can leave their property to them, and there will be no dispute, because they can say, you're my son, you get this.
Okay.
It's all about property. Before
Wow.
property, before civilization, when we were hunter-gatherers, it really didn't matter because there was nothing to inherit.
Very true.
But then we had the
Right.
chastity belt that
Yes.
helped.
Chastity
You can
belts.
see some of those
Chastity
in
belts,
castles
so
and
yeah.
museums around here. And they
Take us here,
are horrific
Andy.
cast iron jobs or wrought iron jobs. Yeah. But you've made me, this conversation has reminded me of a video that I've seen from an African Christian, because in Africa it's a bit different. It's not sort of every sexual activity is taboo. It's specific ones. So you're allowed to do the, what's it called? The vicar's position, you know.
Oh, no.
What?
It's not called
Missionary
vicar, is it?
style.
What is it? It's a
You mean
Missionary.
missionary?
The man on top.
Oh,
Sure, missionary.
missionary.
Thank you. Yeah, missionary
Right.
position. That's okay in Africa. You can do
Yes.
that on top, but all the other positions are
Right.
not allowed.
And it has to be
No,
man on
no.
top.
That's
Yeah.
because the man is over the
which actually
woman
goes against the
control.
woman has an
for
advantage
that.
being on top for her orgasm, and that's another
Right.
side.
Yeah,
As long as the man's happy.
Right.
Yeah, control,
It's a
yeah.
dominance thing, and it's
Yeah,
the man
yeah.
that's having
Dominance.
sex, the woman that's receiving it. That's the precept behind it.
Let's
Larry.
not get into revealing our favorite positions.
Okay, none. Larry, what's your thought on
Oh,
the flock,
gosh.
idea?
No, I was just thinking back when these rules were being made, and maybe even currently, the preacher could consider the flock, the predatory preacher, if there was one,
Yeah.
could consider their flock their private hunting ground, sexual hunting ground,
Oh,
and
it
didn't
still
want others in the group
happens.
to have sex with their possible conquests. So
Mhm.
that they really tamped down on the no sex area, so that STDs and things like that wouldn't get polluted into a pool that they were exploiting.
And that makes me think of a news item which I reported this week about a quiverful church in the state of New York, where the leaders, the church leaders, have abused lots of women,
Right.
and their attitude is they hand over their sexuality to the Lord.
Whoa.
To the
yeah.
who?
I wonder
the Lord.
if we were to do a random
Oh,
poll of preachers, how
gosh.
many had met their own wife or significant other in a similar church group, right? Or even in their own congregation. And like that could be a startling statistic, honestly. I'm gonna put my Christian hat on, guys. And I'm gonna say you guys have been ragging on Christianity and religion for a while, but you guys haven't offered any solutions. So isn't that typical of atheists? What would you do to make it any better? And how can you even demonstrate that would be the case? I'll throw it out to Larry Rhodes. Larry, you've been ragging on Christianity.
Wait, what happened there?
So what? What does atheism have? How can you make this better? How can you make appreciation of sex in any way better? At least we have a system.
Appreciation of sex. How
Well, I
can
mean,
you make it better?
Appreciation.
Can just stop for
Yeah,
one
I
second.
paused.
So guys, now this is the part where I'm going to throw this to you guys. I'm going to throw this question to you, right? Because yes, I like that. It's not enough just bash and this and that. Offer solutions if you have any. You don't have to have any. But if you do, if you can think of anything, okay, so we a lot of us have grown up in a culture where we were sexually repressed, and you come away from that, a lot of people still have struggles even after leaving these controlling religions, right? Even when you're now free, you still struggle because you've gone 40 years, 50 years, thinking this thing, and now you're told that okay, you're out of your jail cell, off you go, right? And you're not given any tools, you're not given any manual as to how to start to appreciate sex after leaving religion. So what advice, what solutions can we, so yeah, I would like to see some in the chat. But myself, if I was to answer this question, I think I would say that you need to give yourself room to just explore your own body first. You need to explore, because you cannot put your pleasure in someone else's hands, right? Yes, it'd be nice to have that, but I think you start off by knowing what your own erogenous
erogenous.
erogenous, yes.
Yeah, eros.
For a lot of people, they were religious and don't even know these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some women don't even orgasm at all during sex. It's not a thing, and they don't even know how to do it for themselves. So you need to know yourself, right? Know what makes you get there quick,
Get
or
there.
the things that,
Or mm-hmm. Gives
right?
you the pleasure.
That's my advice. Phil, did you have any
Mm,
advice or any
yeah,
solutions?
similar to what you just said, know your body, know your area, and do research. Read. There are sex therapists there who have put literature out there to help people learn how to have to pleasure their partner,
Yeah.
pleasure themselves, to
Mm-hmm.
learn about themselves, and so on. So read, not only read, there's even on YouTube. 'Cause just the other night I saw one person that was talking about um, what they were talking about, pleasuring and talking about the female orgasm versus a male orgasm, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So there is literature out there. There, of course, there's some
Literature.
literature, whether it's videos or written literature
Are
or
you are
even
you are you
audible
are you talking about the P word, the pornography?
phonography. No, not necessarily, because a lot of phonography apparently don't, is not. It doesn't give you a real life
Right.
view
It's all make
of
believe.
the make belief,
Yes,
right?
make
And
believe.
and if you realize that in life pornography, there is the persons don't really kiss. They're not intimate.
Right. Mm.
Start with
A-
intimacy and
And
so on.
and
So
have you also noticed that there's still a lot of misogyny in
yes,
pornography
it's pornography.
things?
Some
This
yeah,
idea
and some
of dominance by the man over the
dominance by the
woman,
man
and
of a woman.
it's still very prevalent
Yeah,
pornographic in pornographic videos and things.
videos.
Anyway,
But
that's
there are some that do show really in terms of intimacy and so on, right? But a lot I have seen is normally this quick thing
right,
sort of
right.
thing. And there's no intimacy showing how to
Mm-hmm,
get
mm-hmm,
the person to
mm-hmm.
that point
So
to
like
orgasm.
foreplay.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't really show you the foreplay aspect of how
Right.
to pleasure, because the same video that I saw, the person was saying that it is not about just reaching the orgasm, it's about the pleasure,
Yes.
because then people put themselves under pressure. If they don't orgasm, they put themselves under pressure, or if they don't get the other person to orgasm, they put each other under pressure, or
Yes.
the
Yes.
others under pressure. Then
Yes.
is what pleasure you can derive. Focus more on
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
pleasure, and that will
Yeah.
come.
So, Dr. Cyrus, I think I remember watching this program as well. Something about a sex therapist. They were talking
Oh,
about sex.
Dr. Ruth.
I don't remember what the name was. Something about the jobs of a sex therapist, and I think there was someone who was about 40 years old, a man who was still a virgin.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
still a
because the
thing.
trauma is traumatic,
Mm-mm.
right? And bend, even though, because you told all your life this is dirty, this is dirty, this is wrong. And even if you had sex being a Christian, it was always this thing about, oh, you done wrong, sin, blah blah, the guilt, trying to create this
Yes.
guilt, even though you enjoyed the pleasure of it initially. pleasure of it. Then this after guilt,
Mm-mm,
guilt
mm-mm,
tripping, guilt
mm-mm.
tripping, control. And Darrell Ray, he wrote his book, The God Virus.
The
He's
God
right. I
virus.
read
I've
it.
got
I
it.
read the
I've
book,
got it.
and
Yeah.
it's on point
Yes, it is.
with
It is.
how this God virus in terms of relating to sex and trying to make people feel shame
Yeah.
and acts like a virus.
Yes.
You know.
Absolutely. Okay.
So,
So Doug says his needs are simple, or were simple. Make sure my sexual partner is satisfied, usually with him licking her
licking
like a
her like a
lollipop.
lollipop. Ooh.
2 minutes of no hands up and down fun for me, and 8 hours of sleep. That sounds like an awesome time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's carry on.
Birth control pills and readily available abortion if you need it. And most countries around the world, let me put that addition to it. And modern medicine, there's really no reason why we shouldn't have sex as often and wherever we want to. Now, there are precautions. You have to be adult about it. You have to take the precautions. Unwelcome pregnancies, spread of STDs, that type of thing. But the act itself, there's no reason to forbid it.
Correct.
It's very pleasurable. I may have this attitude because when I grew up, I was born in the 50s, when after penicillin was made and before AIDS hit, free sex was 67 type of thing, 60s and 70s type of thing. And that may be the attitude that I have, but I still think there's really no reason to tamp down on it, especially for supernatural reasons. It gives pleasure, it brings people closer, it feels good, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, my thoughts.
Okay. Eric.
So in the schools, when they in the Caribbean schools, especially if let's say, for example, the guidance counselors, a lot of them are Christian. They will not bring persons to really discuss the actual aspects in terms of that it is okay, it's sexual pleasure, but it requires responsibility, responsibility between two adults, and
They
so
won't
on.
teach
They are
that?
going to teach that. They are going to tell them about abstinence. Yes, sometimes some of them will talk about using condoms, but the pleasurable aspects, that it is pleasurable, nothing wrong with that. But you have to be responsible. You have to be at the age. It's best to do it at age where you can take responsibility or be responsible.
Yeah.
And be aware and so on. Because, it's usually the Christian sort of guilt tripping and thinking that telling them, the abstinence is going to stop them from having sex, which is ridiculous.
It is.
Right? Talk about safety, how to be safe, and whatever, how you need to be safe. If it does happen, you need to be safe about it and so on. And not to allow misogyny to take over, right? As females, in towards the females, and to teach young men respect the lady. Don't is not you controlling the situation or any of the two controlling situation. You have to discuss it's not a one-way street. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So,
Atheism has nothing on the board. Christianity always has rules of law, society, multiple presidents, multiple world leaders. We're not on fire right now. We got a planet that's good. We got a lot of resources. That's Christianity's benefit. What has atheism brought to the table? And if you guys take away all these rules, the whole society falls apart. So why are you ragging on Christianity this whole time? And what do you have as an atheist for improving sexuality?
Well, I think like we've said, a lot of the reasons to make sex taboo has been taken care of. We have birth control, better understanding of how diseases and spread and all of that. So we don't really need the taboo, and we don't really need the the big guy's watching you. Don't put your hand in your pants. So we say this: sex education, in schools, kids are going to figure it. The internet is there. Kids are going to figure it out. They know how to use the computer better than you do. They'll find
Mhm.
out everything they need to know. So give them good education in schools. Don't make it icky. Make it just very, very open. Be
Mhm.
like Netherlands. And then, yeah, mandatory vasectomies for every boy. There you go.
There
Because
you
it's
go.
reversible. It's
Mandatory
But
vasectomy. No.
mandatory
Vasectomy for boys.
boys,
No.
no, no. But the thing is, okay, I know that children have been punished for bringing to school pornography rather than explain to them and again because of the Christian sort of thinking, they deal
Mhm.
with it in the wrong way.
Right.
Rather than try to explain to them, well, this here does not always display the correct um, way of going about having sex and pleasure, and try to explain to them, right? They punish the children for bringing the pornography to school.
To school. Yeah.
You know, and it's sad because you are not teaching the children how to think. You are telling them what to think rather than teach them how to think, how to deal with such issues. And therein lies the problem.
That's right. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Hmm.
reversible.
John Richards, how are
Yeah.
you going to control the women? See,
Oh.
you see what Christianity says? We've had
Come
this
on, come on.
tight grip control on women.
Who can
You're just going to give
control-
that up?
Who can control women? I mean, give me a break.
We can pretend.
Christians are
to, I
doing a
guess.
pretty effective job on it. I wouldn't even say it's a good job, but I'd say it's a pretty effective. Go ahead, Larry. What are you doing?
I go to Richard Dawkins' reply when a Muslim asked him, "How do you control your women?" He said, "They're not my women.
Ah,
Yeah, no, they're autonomous."
I like
Okay.
what Eric
Yeah.
said about the internet is there.
right.
And of course, surveys have been done about the usage of the internet, and guess which countries visit the most porn sites?
Oh,
Okay.
the most
I'm gonna
religious.
assume it's flipped. I'm gonna say the more conservative the country, the better. But North Korea doesn't have a internet really. I think. But man, this is gonna be rough. I'm gonna draw out America just because it seems like we have the most people. It's not America. Who is it? Who is it? Tell us.
Middle East.
Middle East.
It's particularly
Yeah. Steve McRae, mine just said 100 students was baptized in an elementary school in his state this week during class without parents' permission. Wow.
Oh my goodness. That's
So you
just
see that's why I tell you the sort of uh in these Christianized areas, they think that they have when they have feel they have the privilege,
yeah.
they do these things, and then there's not pushback, or if there is pushback, they start keeping a lot of ridiculous noise. Oh, you're trying to corrupt public morals. Oh, no, I said that. There was in Uganda, I heard of the news today. Some musicians or some singers are being prosecuted. The government is claiming that these people are corrupting public morals.
Right. I've heard of that as well.
It's
Yes.
like,
I've heard of
really?
that too.
So
It is
clearly,
absolutely.
I remember I said, look, Christianity crap going on there. Or if is mainly, but I think Uganda is mainly Christianized more so than
Islam.
Islam. You
Mm.
might have some Islam there, but you know those two, when it comes to this sex thing or what they consider this so-called immoral
Mm.
thing, they think basically similar along those lines. So it is like when you heard corrupting public morals, is like, but if it's talking about sex or whatever, that's not corrupting public morals. Because is how they see is they're demonizing sex.
Yeah.
demonizing sex. That's what it's about. Demonizing sex in order for control. Nigeria too. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
Nigeria,
happening.
Nigeria. There was a poll recently. I think it was Pornhub. The most people that's visited Pornhub in a I think in a month or in were mainly. I think, if I am not mistaken, I may be wrong here,
Right.
but
It was sorry,
were
it's Nigeria.
Nigerian women.
It's Nigeria.
Women.
Yeah, she's right. It's Nigeria.
Nigerian women were
Yeah,
like
yeah, and I
visitors
think
to
it
the
was
Pornhub.
the Muslim part, the northern part. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that this was
So
happening. Yeah, yeah. But then there's something else I heard Uganda, but right, it's Nigeria, right? Because they said the northern part, the Muslim area is like okay, yeah,
yeah.
yes. Oh boy, the internet is kind of iffy.
The Islamic countries.
Wow.
Why is it sticking? This don't normally do this. Let's just see if you can. If yours running better.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Wow.
Let's see
they don't get
what
I am
um
at right 4640.
okay. So I'll share my
Yeah,
screen.
just share screen. We'll just
Okay.
replace mine.
Here we go.
they don't get to see it and walking around the streets.
Yeah, they're the most. Well, they could be potentially the most repressed. Larry, what do you think?
Exactly. They're surprised.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to respond to your, what does atheism bring?
Yeah.
What does it offer? Well, it brings an existence without it. I have a meme here that I created and sent out. An existence without a celestial dictator reading your mind 24/7 looking for sin. No more preachers running your life. No worries about an eternity in hell. You get to sleep in on Sundays.
Yes.
And you get a 10% pay.
And you
Yeah.
you get to save your
Save
money.
your money.
So
And put it
I grew up
towards
with
better
just the general
uses.
impression of like there's only gay people and straight people, and there's nothing really else
Helping
in between. And when I was before
people.
puberty, I was waiting for sexual awakening to kick on me. And when it didn't, like when I was 14, I was like, maybe I'm just a late bloomer. It's not a problem. And like by the time I was 20, it was still like I'm not feeling any like very strong like sexual emotions either way. All my stuff works, and pleasuring feels good, but like there's no other person attraction. I'm wondering like what's going on. Do I just hate women? Like is this a thing that I got to think about because I know I'm not gay either? Like what are the opportunities here? And so I've got myself in this weird internet tunnel where it's like, are there any other people that are like me? And I found some people who are like pickup artists who are like, yeah, I don't like women either. I just like dating them. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's.
Here we go.
Oh. It's like you were
I guess closer to what I'm at then, because like I can definitely date
true.
women, and so I started on almost like this weird track where I was like dating almost all the people in our science building.
Hey,
Like,
Richard.
Hi,
I could look at almost
Richard.
every girl and be like, I've been on a date with her. Nothing yet. Let me try another person. Let me try
Yeah.
another person. And I felt bad about it,
Why is
and I was just like, what in the world's going on? And so finally, like after a long search, I found out like, is it okay to just
Oh, this is not
something
good.
is wrong the
like, yeah, of course, that's a good thing.
internet.
I'm like, why didn't I
Or
find that?
what?
And this is like in my 30s. Like, why didn't I find that when I was in my teens? Why didn't someone educate me?
I wonder if it's
Yeah,
the
that point I only
can't
knew
talk
that
about
part.
that stuff.
exactly. I only knew straight
The
gay
recording?
or
Yeah, I am not sure because when I checked my speed
bi. And I
was
thought,
still
well,
up.
either you like men, you like women, or you like both men and women. But I'm like, what if
The
you
internet
don't like any of
speed.
those? Is that an option? Is there a fourth box in this?
None of the
where
above.
it's like, yeah, you can be none. I was like, that's the group. And not only is that a group, but like it's a full thing. It's like a full, it's not just a community, but it's just like its own standardized thing. No one explained it to me. And I felt like, as Eric
Oh
was saying,
no.
if we just had this taught in schools where it's just like, kids, you can be any of these
Oh.
things. And it's a whole spectrum. And it's okay. And you don't have to worry about the repression.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It
Still
would
to
save me a
pray
lot of headache.
without
It would save me
religion.
a lot of
Esther would
guilt, a
have
lot of
learned how to play exactly.
and
Love
just
the
give me better
drums.
understanding, or at least a good starter pack to figure out what my
Yeah.
identity is just moving forward.
Well, I'm
And I
glad
was
you
just like,
found out.
thanks.
Okay.
And I just appreciate having that without the religion. And I feel like if the
Oof. You know what? I stopped sharing it because I don't know, for some reason. Okay, so I'm going.
It's probably that because my speed is like up to 121,
Right. Okay.
122 MBS, which is not slow. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's, as I told you, that particular um
Okay.
thing.
Let's.
Let me try that one more time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think
Oh, okay.
we've done the video justice, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
mean, we've been through
yeah.
most of the talking points,
The
and
talking points.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been through most of it. So, but I wanted to end this stream on the benefits of 15 health benefits of sex, because they were
Mm-hmm.
asking about solutions, right?
Right.
So how about we learn about, okay, this whole sex, and
Mm-hmm.
religion, Christianity, whatever religion, they want to make you see the absolute worst in sex, to see the
Yeah.
negatives. Oh, if you have sex, you get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, you get diseases. Oh, you do
Yeah.
this. But what about the pleasure? What about
Mm,
the benefits to the body,
mm,
right? To
But
yourself, how it makes you feel, right? So
but
yeah,
but but
that's it.
Esther, just before you continue, what you just said, right? Do they get in a vehicle? Years ago, vehicles were very unsafe, so people were not supposed to get into vehicles. What science has done, what the engineers have done, the technology using science, is made vehicles safer for people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So now you have mostly vehicles coming with airbags. And through experience, they learned how to they learned about crumple zones and so on to make it safer if you have a head-on collision or a collision, to make it safer so that the passengers don't end up being dead or severely injured. Right? So it has been improved. So when they come with this thing, oh, this is what happened, this is what thing. That's like going on. They probably should not even then go on a roller coaster or whatever, because some people might get a heart attack. But it's pleasurable, but it's a risk,
Of
right?
course it
But
is. Of course.
it's taking a responsibility, being responsible
Yeah.
with the risk.
Yes. And Richard is talking about responsible sensual, not sexual,
So,
but sensual
sensual
acts.
acts. Yeah.
And this is a
Mm.
word that isn't really promoted enough. Sensual,
Yeah.
right?
Sensual.
Doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be sexual. It could just be sensual, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Let's get the benefits, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I
Yeah.
did have to come back for this.
You had
For the,
to?
for the good parts, yes.
For the good part.
parts
Okay,
of
here we
sex.
go. Here we go. Here we go.
Cardiovascular exercise.
So you look younger. That's number one. Boosts your fertility. Oh, it fights colds and flu. Oh.
Maybe breathing.
Disease-proof your body. Lengthens your life. Burns a lot of calories.
Yeah.
No more period cramps. Yes. Less risk of incontinence. Prevents a heart attack.
I heard that.
You become more
Oh,
attractive.
really?
Get rid of stress. Mm.
Yeah, help get rid of
Eliminate
stress.
pain.
Yeah.
Less chance of cancer. Extends your life. No more
More sleep problems.
Those of you who have sleep problems. Okay. So those of you who have sleep problems.
15 health benefits.
Right.
What about it tastes great as well?
It tastes. Oh yeah. Okay.
Obviously, if you're clean, I mean, if you're shiny, you know, that tastes like.
Oh please no, please don't. Please
Tastes
don't.
like dog shit and with a haddock.
No, not
Please
shiny.
don't even listen. I thought you said we were getting to the good bit. Why did you have to bring that up?
No, I think women taste great when they're sexually active. I told you,
Women taste great when they're sexually active.
I lick my missus like a lollipop.
Well, as the I know the oh gosh, right, the WebMD, right?
WebMD
give 10 surprising health benefits of sex.
Okay.
They say one helps keep your immune system.
You want to share it?
Yes, I can share it.
Please share so we can see what you're. And
sure.
Dog was saying about licking like a lollipop. Do you know that some people do not believe that they don't do oral sex?
I basically
Oral sex
clean.
No.
I clean my wife all over like a newborn puppy. like a bitch would clean a newborn puppy. Yeah, that's me.
Oh wow.
Hey,
hello, Rick Lightborn. Now it's getting
right. So
weird. No, it's not weird at all. No, it's not
this
weird.
This is WebMD, right? Okay, right. So
okay.
There's a based on research or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It says sex not only feels good, it can also be good for you. Here's what healthy sex life can do for you.
It does say it burns off about 1,500 calories per session. Now I've jogged for like hour and a half. I haven't burnt that much off. But sex can do that in 38 seconds flat. That's got to be good, isn't it? 1,500 calories in 38 seconds flat.
Depends.
Depends.
Well, it depends on what kind of sex you're having, though.
Well, if I go beyond 38 seconds, I'll do a lap in the bed.
If you're starfishing, I doubt you're not burning any calories if you're starfishing.
Right. So it helps your immune system humming. Boosts your libido.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Right.
Improves
women's bladder control. Okay. Oh, a strong pelvic floor. For avoiding incontinence. Okay, that's why they said it will help you avoid incontinence. Okay.
Yeah.
Lowers your blood pressure. People will say that it raises the blood pressure when you go. But partly research suggests there is a link between sex and lower blood pressure. Wow.
Can also help with vertigo if you're with Shani. Because it's high up there, I'll tell you.
Oh my God. However, they said the Lamarck study, they says sexual intercourse specifically, not masturbation.
Okay.
Lowers the systolic blood pressure. Oh, okay. And where's the others? Oh, that's 4. Number 5. Where's number 5? What's going on? Let's see. All right.
There's also a lot of relationship benefits as well with come with sex.
Yes.
There's that closest.
It improves the communication.
Even me now, I'm older. now I'm older, sex is sort of planned.
So where's the other
Planned now,
time?
like a date night. When people have been with someone for a long time, they'll have a date night and do it. And we reserve ours for Friday. We'll have a Chinese
I don't know
takeout
why
in the
it's not
shed.
going to the next page. It's not going to the next page. I don't know why.
It's okay, not to worry.
Okay, but people can go to the.
that's it, that's it there.
gone. Oh, right, that's it now. Oh, right, counts as exercise.
Yeah.
Sex is a really great form of exercise. It won't replace treadmill, but it counts for something. Oh, sex uses about 5 calories per minute. 4 more calories than watching TV. It gives you a 1-2 punch. Bumps up your heart rate. Right. And helps you use various muscles. 6, lowers heart attack risk. Say it's good for your heart. Good. Raise the heart rate. Sex helps keep your estrogen and testosterone levels in balance. Wow. Lessens pain. Before you reach for aspirin, try an orgasm. Orgasm. Oh yes, I remember reading this. Orgasm can block pain. Wow. May prostate cancer less likely. May.
Okay.
Men who
Oh, wow.
ejaculate frequently at least 21 times a month were less likely to get prostate cancer during one study that was published in the Journal of American Medical Association. Oh, wow.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. But some persons were saying the opposite, giving opposite information and saying that one, it causes cancer. A woman's
Sex causes cancer.
Cancer in a woman's womb. I think it was my mother. I heard that. Sex
I can
outside the
understand.
marriage. Something sex outside the marriage. I can.
I can understand if they're saying that to people to try and deter them from
That's
having sex.
That's what they do.
It just you tell all these tales as if people will still not do it. They'll still go ahead and do it. So
they said it improves sleep. Yeah, but normally after sex you feel like just going off to sleep. Like
that's right.
The analogy I like to use is in rabbits. When the male rabbit or the rabbits have sex, usually the male falls off to the side and goes to sleep. Right.
Okay. And I think all this talk of sex now is making me making me tired.
Right. And it eases stress.
Get some sleep.
That's number 10. Eases stress.
Eases stress. Okay.
Right.
Well. So, what advice? Both of you are married, so that's so for people who are for people who are by themselves, who are alone. The Bible says it is not good for a man to be alone because God. Wait, well, hang on. So it's not good for a man to be alone. So the man should go look for a wife. Then when he gets a wife, then he can't try this sexual position. He can't do this. They can't do that. They can't do. They must give themselves up for prayer. They must, they must, but it's not good for a man to be alone. Okay, I get it.
But it didn't say it ain't good for a woman to be alone. I don't get that. The misogyny.
So what's the advice for people who are alone and still want the benefit of sexual pleasure? As atheists, as atheists now, as atheists, as people who got no religious, get a sexual partner, yes.
That's it. Yeah, such a partner. All depends whatever your thing works for you.
Let me use the proper term.
Or partners.
The proper term is a fuck buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Or buddies.
If you're alone as well. If you're alone, possibly a warm rubber glove in between two people, 2 pillows. Use that. But the thing is about sex at any age, even there's pills now and there's lubes. There's a closest that you will get all your life through through sex, through your, through your autumn years. Even it's just that you can never lose that closeness, if you understand.
Yeah.
It's nice to hold someone in that way, because people just don't. You don't see many people holding hands when they get older and things like that. Just simple little things, but
Yeah.
sex is a bond that is good for any relationship,
It
as far as
is.
I'm
It
concerned.
is. It is. And also we need to promote, in as much as we want sexual liberty, we need to also point out, you need to be sensible,
Sensible, yeah. Safety.
consent,
Yeah.
keep children out of your sexual.
Obviously, that's
Mm-hmm.
for the youngsters.
When we talk about sex here, we're talking about sex between adults.
Yeah.
Nothing
Between
to do with
adults. With
children. Children
children.
have no business having
Mm-hmm.
sex.
But obviously,
Mm-hmm.
But
again,
Because they're not responsible
9-year
enough.
old girls have no business being with 50-something-year-old
Nope.
prophets.
Nope.
but also, it's about education, and it's about,
Yeah.
you got to think about diseases and things like that, and unwanted pregnancies when you're younger. So, birth control,
Yeah.
which religion,
Yeah. Yeah.
goes against this. Even though back in the Bronze Age they used birth control, which was basically half an orange.
Mm.
The skin of an
Which you
orange
thought
was half that, and whether it worked or not,
not
very
correct.
rarely.
But at least they try
But
to use
they
some
tried to, yeah. They
birth
understood birth
control.
control back
What did
then,
you
but
do with the skin of an orange? What did you do with that?
well, it was used like I suppose a
Like
barrier,
Barrier.
like
base.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'll go
You
do the
got you
research
got
later on.
research that there.
Anyway, sex is natural, normal, and it's
Yes.
nice,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and everybody should do it at least once.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At least
With
did you
whoever,
say
with
at least once?
yeah, whoever they were, whomever. They may not like. Some people may not like sex. May
Oh,
not be
true,
for them,
true. That's absolutely true.
but they should
Yeah.
try at
Some
least.
don't. Some are asexual
Yes.
I remember
or
going
might
through.
not.
I remember going through puberty, and when I discovered the orgasm on my own, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
about the age of 11, 12,
Mm.
no one
Yeah.
saw me again for months on end. I was just locked somewhere. I was just gone.
I bet they were looking. Where is dog? Dog, where
I,
are you? Dog was off going to pleasure himself.
Where's Paddy? You know where he is. He's up in that bloody toilet again, locked himself in. He says he's doing his hair. Bald bastard.
Yes,
But
Rick,
one more thing, if you can afford, safely use sex toys. Find out
but
what
hang on, Phil, hang
pleasures.
on.
Remember the other
No,
one?
Phil, hang on. No, no. You talk about if you can't afford. You said, did you see the price of that thing
Yeah,
yesterday?
I saw price. I said if you can
Did you
afford, but
see the price?
the price of
Listen, I
that.
already said I'm going to put it on my Amazon wish list. There might be some rich people here that might just think, okay, so listen, I'll do it before I go to bed tonight. I'll put that thing. What did he call it again? I don't remember. What was it called?
What was
I need
it
to write
called?
that thing down.
The
If Carnivor's Ape is here,
saddle
Carnivor's Ape,
something. It was a saddle.
I need to contact Carnivor's Ape before I go to
It
bed
was
actually tonight.
saddle
I don't know what it was. Saddleback or what?
saddleback. I
I
think
don't
it was a
know.
saddleback.
That thing was
I probably
expensive.
still have it somewhere on my
Oh my
things I
god.
didn't close off. It has
So
to be somewhere
so
in
when you talk about sex toys, it's not that kind of one you're on about, right? The cheaper ones.
well, no, the cheaper ones can work too. The dildos. Some come as vibrators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
So, but that other one is more than a vibrator. That one's a
I need to know the
saddle
name of
and a
that
hump.
thing. What's it called?
It was a hump, no a hump something. Oh gosh,
I need to know what that
I
thing.
don't think I close. I should probably still have that open somewhere on one of my. things here.
Crowdfunding for sex toys now. Yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why
And why
not?
not?
Why
Why
not?
not?
Yeah, oh, it was it was I had that open when we were looking at
Symbian. Yeah, it was something like this.
the Symbian, you're right.
I don't know. What's this? Is that what's it?
The
Let's see.
Oh
Symbian,
yeah,
yeah,
that's like a
Symbian.
horse. That's like a horse you ride.
Is
Do you know the bucking broncos you see in the fairgrounds,
Right?
Esther? You know, like the bucking broncos they get on in the fairgrounds. It's like a smaller version of that with bumps, little bumps and lady benefits on it. That a baby. It's cheaper just to sit on the washing machine. To be fair, on a spin cycle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I typed Symbian in the chat and it's mobile phones coming up.
Oh,
Not in the chat, sorry, in Google. And they're all mobile phones.
mm.
So I don't know what that
We'll,
is.
we'll
No.
It's not that one.
type Symbian sexual sex toy.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me Symbian sex.
That's toy.
Now oh, right. Oh gosh, my phone has told me. My Google thingy search. It said your safe search is turned on, so I can't go past this point. And let's see, what's it called? Symbian. What's this thing called? Let's have a look here. Symbian.
It's Symbian sex toy. It is
Symbian. SYBN.
Symbian, right?
SYBN.
Ooh, see,
It's like
the
it's
best
like a,
orgasm ever. My goodness, how much are these things going to cost?
1,500.
What's this one? Cowgirl. Oh wow, this is called a cow. Look at this. Look. Oh my. What on earth is? 1 second, guys. 1 second. What
It
the
is
hell
a
did I just
vibrator.
say?
It looks like something.
Oh shit! My
look like
internet.
remember I said it looked like a mailbox.
My
Looks like a
internet will not let
mailbox
me
with
pass that
something on
point.
top. Oh gosh. Symbian.
It's not
Oh,
Symbian. SYBIAN, not
wait.
Symbian.
SY
SYBIAN.
SYBIAN.
There's one I've seen here. It's like a rifle
Oh,
sticking out like this. I don't know what that is, but I tried to click on it.
I got it. Yeah.
I've got safe search on my phone, so it won't let me pass. Never mind.
Remember I showed you hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me
Symbian.
share for those who didn't see it the last time.
Yes. You know, we like to see around here. We like to
Right, it was something
visualize.
similar to this. I remember some came with like this one, come with multiple.
it's just something
Okay.
it's something women straddle.
Yeah, they straddle, yeah.
You straddle, yes.
Yeah. You say just before you go to bed, you straddle, you can straddle.
You ride it like your life depends on it.
But you know something. For me, it's the contact with another human.
Yeah,
Nothing
some
beats
people,
that.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Nothing beats that. I don't care what toy it is, how much it is. For me, it's just the looking someone in the eye as they give you pleasure, you give them, just enjoying that moment with the person. Nothing beats that feeling for me. Nothing. So I'm not sure. CBN, whatever. If you give me a mate and give me a CBN, and listen, I'll just tell you, keep your CBN. You just go. Not interested. Giddy up, cowgirls. That's right. Okay. I hope it sells millions. Ooh, Rick, have you seen the prices of these things? Over $1,000 for one of these. Oh, and I bet I don't know if it uses electricity or batteries. Oh my goodness.
Well, for
What is this
$1,000,
product?
you'd want it to
Okay,
be made
yes,
of gold.
straddle. You sit on it and Yeah, you just enjoy yourself while you sit on it.
It
Mm-mm-mm.
just vibrates while you straddle it. It's one of them bucking Broncos, but it won't buck you off. It'll do.
No,
It'll
no.
do. It'll get you off, but it won't buck you off.
Buckaroo.
Yeah.
Ah, anyways, that was good. That was good. And guys, I put a video out before this one. Please go watch. Something to do with G-Man's gay thoughts. Got some good advice in there.
Oh, you're obsessed.
No, I'm not. It was what I heard yesterday. It got to me because this idea that someone has a dream. He's about to be raped by two soldiers in his dream, and said, "No, it's the demons that put it in my mind. The demons will not tempt you with something that isn't
Mm.
already something you're thinking about. For goodness sake, this is how religious people hide behind religion.
Well,
You
they hide
hide
behind
behind this
their sexuality. They use
exactly.
religion to hide their sexuality because when
Demon, demon putting stuff in your mind. What
well,
the hell is that?
G Man just berates anyone, regardless who they are, unless they're a woman like Ms. Parker, and he will dress up as a woman to berate a woman, because that's
Terrible.
his kink. He loves dressing up as a woman and
That's
having
true.
gay dreams.
That's true.
Well,
Mm.
other than that, he'll just berate people. As he's done, we've seen his videos of him just hating on people. Why doesn't he do that with Ms. Parker and other people, Mrs. Parker and other people? No, he loves dressing up as a woman and
Hmm.
acting as a woman.
And
That's
even
his
when he
way.
was wearing, even when he was wearing those wigs, and did you hear his voice? Even no, 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 no. He had the voice to go along with the persona. Oh, it was beautiful. I
Yes.
loved it. I absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. Mm.
Well, yeah.
I tell you, I honestly wish G Man would just give in to your sexual desires, and he'll be less hateful. He'll be less of a vile human if he just gave in to. Or maybe that's why he's so. Hmm. I could explain why he's that way. Maybe. And when you have to pay $1,300 just to have a bit of sex, you're
G
not
Man's a
doing it right.
drama queen that is
It's
meaningless to
true.
about anything.
Ah, the name of my second channel. Can you put it in the chat?
Ah,
Okay, let me go and find it. Let me get it out
mhm.
now. I shall get it.
Yeah, G Man's a
G-Man
drama
and
queen.
Pink
He likes
Chronicles.
he likes to I don't know. He just likes to trigger people. Um, I don't think he means what he says. I don't think he hasn't got a clue what he says half the time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
he's undebatable because he just gets angry, and
Yeah.
people know this. People know this, and that's why people avoid him now and just just leave him to his nonsense and let him do his drama, and people just laugh at him, like we do. We always laugh at him because he's a massive cock. He's a massive Sibian.
uh, I don't think so because he don't stimulate people only himself. Yeah,
He's a
he's a massive self Sabian.
he's a vibrating clitoral stimulant
Oh
Mm,
gosh.
that women do not want to straddle.
well, it's true. Oh
Okay,
my God,
so that's my other channel where that's where the things that
G-Man.
that we try to keep away from this channel, yeah, goes over there. So this one, as much as possible, we try to talk about
Mm-hmm.
religion and all that good stuff. But on the other channel, oh, religion is out of the window.
Um,
So that's the link.
that's
Yes, make him less of a twat.
but no, that's coming up with Shani. Oh yes, the
Yes,
Shani Rev.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
The
Yeah.
Shani, Rev,
Well,
and G-Man Chronicles.
they all just hate on each other, don't they? That's their little crowd. It's like watching Home and Away, watching them fuckers. It's just drama with them, and
It
you know,
is.
at the end of every
Drama.
show they do, I expect to hear doom 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 doom.
They call it performance
EastEnders
art.
music.
They call it performance art. That's what they call it.
I just crap at it. I mean, you know, G-Man going through his his sexual identity crises and whatever he goes through. It's just rubbish.
I'm just fascinated by these people because I would never meet this kind of people in my everyday life.
Well, he hates on other people like yourself
So,
because he knows you'll bite him and retaliate and bring him up again. But this is just narcissistic attention seeking. That's all he is. He's an attention seeker. And this is brought on by obviously personality disorder or loneliness or just being a twat.
twat. I agree with the twat thing. Yeah.
But this is
Lilith is back.
he is a total plum. That's not worth anyone's time, really. You can't have a conversation with him because he's argumentative. He's right regardless. Even if he's wrong, he's right. I'm right, you're wrong. Well, fair enough. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that mentality at all. So he's basically undebatable. So yeah, fuck him. He's a twat.
He is definitely a twat. Absolutely. Anyways, guys,
thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you all very much.
everyone.
And
thank you for putting up with my
saying that, I have a little song which I released today on the previous video. So I think we'll end with that song. I just need to find it first. I just need to at least we'll get dog dancing on his hospital bed. Ah, how nice. Yes. Lily says, what? Why? Lily, it's nearly midnight here. Let's see. Let me find the song. Just 1 second, guys.
Well, I finally got all my creams today as well. Finally got all my eczema creams, so my skin should be better.
Oh, eczema. Oh.
Well, I didn't have it with me when I was rushed into hospital. We got all my creams. We've got more
so
over there.
Them. Right, that's
all my
good.
skin will be better now.
Okay, just trying to pull out the video. Yeah, here we go. Okay, guys, get ready. Get ready for the song of the century. No, where is it? Where did I put? Where's the song? So this is it here. Okay. So right.
Play.
Oh, what's happening?
What's happening?
Buffering.
It's buffering again.
Oh, come on. Shiny Reverend G-Man. I'm going nowhere. Shiny Reverend G-Man. At the bottom of people's jokes. Shiny Reverend G-Man. I'm going nowhere. The shiny Reverend G-Man. At the bottom of people's jokes. They worked and tried and failed on YouTube. Shiny Reverend G-Man, even make Jesus cry. the work they tried and failed to make a living. Shiny Reverend G-Man got kicked off YouTube. Shiny Reverend G-Man are examples how not to live your life on YouTube. I said, Shiny Reverend G-Man are going nowhere. The Shiny Reverend G-Man at the part of people's joy. Shiny Reverend G-Man are going nowhere. Shiny Reverend G-Man at the bars of people's joy. Shiny Reverend G-Man are going nowhere. Shiny Reverend G-Man are crying on YouTube. Shiny Reverend G-Man are going nowhere. Shiny Reverend G-Man, he could make Jesus cry. Shiny Reverend G-Man, I'm going nowhere. Shiny Reverend G-Man, at the bars of people's joy. Shiny Reverend G-Man, the bars of people's joy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Brilliant. Yeah, let's just quickly talk about loneliness, because you know, do you remember that? What was the drama show they had where Rev got kicked out for abusing Shani's children? He got
Oh, yes.
now at some point, because obviously Shani's a catch, and she's beautiful. At some point, Rev, I bet if it's not already happened, Rev will be back in her life. But that's what loneliness does. And Rev's not scared of heights. He can climb up on that and do his bit, and she'll enjoy it as well. That's the way relationships work.
Yeah.
But obviously, they're obvious. And them kids, they won't last long with her anyway. She gets most of them taken off her anyway, doesn't she? So her.
You saw the rotten tea? Sorry. That's not even the worst. The worst bit cannot be shown on YouTube. Anyway, guys, thank you all very much. And Jenna, it's lovely to see you here. Unfortunately, we were just about to round up, but Jenna, we love you.
I guess she heard
Absolutely
you
love
singing,
you.
so
Yeah.
So, yes. My voice brought Jenna into the yard. And better than yours. My voice is better than yours. I could teach you, and I have to charge. Hey.
I was dancing in my bed.
Oh, were you?
I was dancing in my hospital bed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See? That's it.
Oh my God.
Put your cash app.
Your cash
Okay,
app,
I'll do
yeah.
that before I go. That was so yes.
That was a good show. That was fun.
Yeah.
The end bit was fun
Definitely.
anyway, with the fun parts of sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to promote healthy
Healthy. Yeah.
no, we a lot
Can't let
of
the
us have
church.
gone
Can't let the church or the religion
control us. No,
control.
and a lot of us have gone all our life thinking that sex. Can you imagine thinking
Normal,
that
natural.
masturbation is a sin?
A sin.
When you do it, by the time you're done, the guilt.
The guilt. Yeah.
Every time you have to go and ask God for forgiveness.
It's natural. It's normal, and it's a human necessity.
Yeah, and research has shown, at least among men, and I think women is 80%. So 80%, that includes the Christians, and so it's not too far.
I'm sure if Pornhub were to do the, can you imagine if they did religion?
Yeah,
people who access them. Listen, you will see most of the people accessing these things would be the religious people, because
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're repressed.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyways,
Repressed. Anyway. Yeah.
what's
Everyone wants to
what's
wave.
what's dog? Wait, hang on. Let's hide it.
Oh, it's lights out here,
Oh.
but everyone's waving.
Oh, hello! Look.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi.
Fellow inmates. They're my fellow
Your
inmates.
inmates. How come everyone's still awake?
You know?
We're still awake because we're a bad lot.
How come your inmates are still awake? My goodness.
Because we're naughty.
I think they need to put you all in isolation.
Because people try and stick fingers in us all day, so we pretend we're asleep all day, and we're awake all night. Don't you know how hospitals work? Yes, the second you fall asleep, they fucking wake you up to give you a sleeping pill anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking nightmare.
Oh gosh.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
nice that you're in good.
Nice.
Nice that you're in good company, dog.
You know?
It's nice
Yeah,
you're in good company.
Definitely.
Look at
Keep me sane
Look
anyway.
at all the men. They should be. It's 8 minutes to midnight. They're still awake, all of them. What?
Well, you can come here, I'll teach you spooner.
I've been tuned in for at least 40 minutes so I ain't late. I'm working. Oh, Jana.
Oh,
That's good.
Jana.
Good to hear.
Thanks.
Why? Oh, Maya. Maya's here.
I've been in hospital now 1 month, 2 days.
Yeah. Hi, Maya.
Wow. Maya, where do we begin with? Why is he in the hospital? You want to give a little quick
I got a thing called Corda syndrome. It's rendered me.
No, hang on. Say that again, please. I did not hear that. Say that again.
I got a rare illness called Corda syndrome, which is now rendered me paralyzed from the waist down. I'm number 3 in the country to go to a spinal rehabilitation unit, a spinal injury rehabilitation unit. They're basically going to teach me to become independent as a paraplegic. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay now with it. I wasn't happy the first couple of weeks, but yeah, it's good care here, so it's been okay. It's been good, but it's been hard work mentally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm 1 month, 2 days in hospital now after emergency surgery.
Yeah.
But shit happens. You know, I didn't want it at first, but at the end of the day, you know, that's where I am now.
Yeah.
And
Well, you had had a procedure before this, right?
I had the emergency surgery was to remove part of my spine to try and take some pressure off the lumbar area. It didn't work. It could come back, but I've been told the prognosis is years rather than weeks. It's years. My first review will be 1 year after I leave rehab, which is the initial is 3 months. It's the initial. So I've got many months to go in hospital. Yeah. This is a different. This is just a general hospital. So the rehab unit specializes in spinal injuries and problems.
Injuries. Okay.
Obviously, I'm also incontinent now and things. It's just a nightmare. And obviously, I will be doing shows reflecting, my new disability and how I'm getting on with it.
Yes.
And I'm sort of I'm obviously doing my gospel according to dog as well. I've got more time to do that now. I've actually left work now. I'm fed up with working from home anyway, and so I've left work now. I'm not short of money. That pay me a 6-figure sum anyway.
Yeah. Did you say 6 figures?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
like okay, you know, me and you
Oh,
are friends, right?
Yes, yes,
So
I,
don't you forget that.
I own my property outright, and that's worth well over £1 million now. I've earned a lot of money for the job
Well
I did
done.
as an
Well done.
advertising
yeah,
psychologist. I know I sound stupid, I act stupid, I act like I'm an idiot, but I'm quite clever to be fair.
yeah.
Um, I
You
have a
are.
I
You
have a
are.
PhD in psychology, but I've wasted it
Ooh.
by using it as an advertising psychologist, really. And
Hmm.
I
Oh,
basically it's even that isn't the job what it is now. That's basically just a marketing type job now. That's all it is, marketing.
Yeah.
It's not
okay.
what it used to be. Where you used to get involved with the with the commercials and the adverts and the colours and you get involved with the writers and the script writers and the editors, and
Mm-hmm.
it was very good. It got used to travel around the world for it, but not anymore. That was it's just
Can
sort of
I can
marketing
I
now.
can I ask a
Wow.
question, Doug?
Absolutely.
So in all this that you just talked about, let me ask, where is God in all this?
He could have been one
I
of the
mean,
ones that stuck his finger up my arse. I don't know.
no, what I'm saying is you have gone on to have a
Yeah.
PhD in psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic wife, children, right? You have done amazing for yourself despite everything you went
No
through
challenge.
in
Yeah.
the
Well, yeah, with
in
the
the
stroke
Catholic
and things like
Church.
that. Yeah, well, I've always
Everything
laughed
you
in the
went
face of
through
adversity.
in the Catholic Church, and today, right? You've achieved so much now, and has God been a part of all this? Have you done all this with the help of God?
I think my Doc Osiris will probably verify this. Growing up in Liverpool was fun. It was hard, but it was fun. People look at life differently there. It's more laid back. It's more tongue in cheek life, and I've always laughed in the face of
Mm-hmm.
adversity, no matter what happens. Trust me, when I had this first happen to me, this new thing, um, I was I was devastated. I spent first couple of weeks, staring out window crying. I went, this comes with this
Mm-hmm.
called Aquinas syndrome comes with a bereavement counselor because basically, you've lost your independence, and it is a major thing to lose, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um, I can stand and I can hobble, but I can't get to standing without help. I need people to
Mm.
lift me up, or I need a stand aid because the strength isn't in my legs. I can feel some
No.
parts of my legs, but
Oh, okay.
I'm what they call it incomplete paraplegic, not complete paraplegic.
Incomplete.
Oh,
What
okay.
did you call the name of the syndrome again?
This
Aquine.
way.
It's Cauda syndrome. It's
Spell
C
that,
A
please.
C A U D I A
Caudia.
Cardia.
separate word
Mm-hmm.
E Q U
UINA
I-A-I-N-A, Cauda
syndrome.
equina syndrome.
Ah,
Quadia equina syndrome. Oh
syndrome.
wow.
Yeah. If you Google it now. I
Yeah, I
can't.
just Google it.
Okay, you want to share it? Because
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. You can
Yeah.
share it.
Doug has told me this before, but for the life of me, I would
Mm-hmm.
not have been able to repeat those words at all.
That. Oh,
So
I
that's
got
why
to
I've
Yeah,
written it
cross,
down.
it's a
Hold
rare
on.
compression of the nerve endings in the tip at the end of the spine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It could happen
Share.
through injury or just happen. For me, it just happened.
Right. So, yeah. A rare and severe type of spinal stenosis where all of the nerves in the lower back suddenly become severely compressed. Ah, sciatica on both sides, weakness or numbness in both legs that's severe or getting worse, numbness around or under your genitals or around your anus.
Well,
And show the pictures here.
my whole pelvis is paralyzed. It's numb. It's dead.
Oh,
Nothing works.
wow.
Does it affect your mouth in any way?
No, the top half of me. Well, no, obviously not. The
No, I
top
mean,
half of me is
no,
fine.
I was just teasing it. It doesn't stop you talking. It doesn't stop you, uh, your malfunction.
Ah,
Yes.
It can go further up the spine.
It can.
Yeah, but it basically affects everything below the compression. So if it goes up the
Oh,
spine, you can be quadriplegic or tetraplegic,
whoa.
dependent. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm incomplete paraplegic now.
please,
It's just
Oh, lumbar
it's
decompression.
life.
So you had this lumbar
I
decompression surgery, right?
Yeah, they removed
The
a whole disc
NHS.
and they also removed
The
vertebra as
desk
well
there.
and part of another vertebra and fused my back.
Ah, oh, yeah. Um,
well,
wow.
Doug, you know that we love you.
Yeah,
We love you here, and
Yeah,
we're rooting for you.
yeah.
Don't forget, myself and Denisha, we're coming to give the punishment not in Norfolk. Were we coming to Norfolk or somewhere else? We're coming to
Is
Bagsy middle spoon.
middle spoon.
I'm gonna go. I'll be the middle spoon.
You made the middle spoon. Okay, that's all right. That would be a lovely collection of spoons. We don't mind a bit of spooning.
Well,
Spoon.
I've got a robot leg and I've got all these pipes plumbed into my legs and pelvis
Wow.
anyway. That is sort of
Mm,
pumping me up and down with air and little impulses
ah,
just to keep the circulation going in my legs.
right.
It's the same. Can't have sex, so I've got a finger in my peep. A bag,
Mm,
you know what I mean.
Catheter,
Catheter.
catheter,
catheter.
and
Yeah.
Which nearly got pulled out the other night by a
oh
student.
Ooh.
no.
I didn't feel it, but the next day the bag was just full of blood.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
I was all right.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been fun in hospital. I've had an infection where I was really ill. That's the worst. That's the biggest killer in hospitals is infection.
Oh
Yes. Oh,
yeah. Yes.
have you had an infection during this day?
Yeah, I had an infection during this day.
Uh-huh.
If you're here a month, you're going to get an infection.
Of course. It
Yeah.
just. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
my
I have regular mentions on hospital radio.
hospital radio.
Well,
How nice.
Oh,
the average stay in this hospital is 10.9 days.
Oh,
I've been
you've
here.
been
oh,
there a
I've
month.
been here 33
mm,
days.
yeah.
The longest I've been in a hospital is 3 nights.
Mm,
The longest
okay.
I've ever been in a hospital.
Yeah, this is just a general hospital where they'll do the essentials and then they'll ship you off to wherever.
To the more specialized. Yeah.
But this Princess Royal Hospital in Sheffield is the only one in the country that does this. I didn't hear you there, Phil. What did you say?
No, there's something that Steve McCray put in the comments.
Fuck that.
He got me
Airless
laughing.
Shani. That will put a hole in the ozone. What would you lift her with? It'd have to be some sort of military
Crane.
helicopter.
Maybe a crane.
It'd have to be something proper industrial.
Since there are lots of guys there for the
There-
spooning.
Maybe you got your left Johnny over there.
Oh, guys, listen, I think we can just sit here and go on and on. But guess
Oh,
what, guys?
yeah,
My
it's
son is
not
back to
midnight.
school in the morning, so
Yeah,
I need to
to get your sleep.
respect myself and go get some sleep so
Mhm.
that we can get ourselves off to school. Don't forget,
Mhm.
he's autistic. My son is,
Yeah.
and for the last 6 weeks he's been at home. So getting back into the routine of school,
Yeah. It'll give
that's
you a
going
break
to
as well.
be a nightmare. Of course it would, but he needs to settle back into school routine, and he's not looking forward to it. He's so I definitely need to be up early so that we can start off early, because there's going to be a lot of kicking off tomorrow morning. There's going to be a lot of mom, but why do I have to, mom,
Well,
this, mom,
as I say, I'm going to rely on you guys anyway when I go to Sheffield, because I will have 0 visitors when I go there.
zero.
It's like it's hundreds of miles away from where I am now. So my visitors will not be going there.
Okay,
I'm going to
never
rely on
mind.
you guys.
Never mind. We're going to be here for
Apparently,
you.
Apparently, I will have a room of my own as well.
Listen, we're in Sheffield. Sheffield,
Yeah.
how far is Sheffield from me? Hang on. Let's see. Oh, you said you can't see anyone. Oh, sugar.
No.
Yeah. Well,
What? Come on. They should be able to make room for one. Come on.
Teeny works, so she won't be able to come up there. She just will not find the time to
Who?
drive hundreds of miles.
Shani.
Teeny, my wife.
Tini. Okay.
Oh, Teeny. Yeah.
Not Shani. Oh, God. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
No.
She wouldn't be allowed in the country.
Sheffield's only 60 miles away from me. What are you on about?
Whoa.
No, from me, you duh.
No, I mean Sheffield is 60 miles from me.
Oh, you can visit me, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Of course I can.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Bugsy being the big spur.
Steve McGray manager, stop. It's the kids back to school, single mother at home by herself. Wonder what I be getting up to. Cooking and cleaning. By the time I'm done, cook, clean, and then I go to work as well, right? I go to work. Maybe not full time because of my autistic son, but I do go to work. Part-time hours I do. And hello, there's no time for any of that shenanigans, what you're thinking. No time for that. We leave that for the weekend. We leave all them shenanigans for the weekend. Steve McRae manager. Steve McRae manager. Oh gosh. Wesley Corey. Hello. What's the dog up to? Satan from hiding, raped all minds on earth, saying, I shall turn and touch you violently like a ball. Perverting Isaiah. What the hell? Wesley Corey II, 091005, Satan from hiding, raped all the minds on earth, saying I shall. All right. Congratulations to Satan. Raping minds. Right. You know, the demons put the gay thoughts in G-Man's mind. So maybe that's what this is all about. I don't know. Maybe that's what this is all about.
Maybe.
So, yeah. Well, 91005. What's that? 910. Is that 910? Is that
That's the date?
Is that September the 10th?
The 10th,
or is it
2005?
What is that? I get it mixed. Is that the 9th day, the 10th month, or is that the 9th month and 10th day? What's that one? I get it all confused, but never mind. You know what, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if Wesley is religious or not.
I don't
if he is, he's come at the right time as we're going.
See you, Wesley. Right time, yeah. October 10. Oh, it's October the 10th. Okay, so that's October 10, 2005. Okay, is this like a message or what? What's this all about, Satan? Satan's giving messages now. All right. Congratulations to all of them. They just anyway, guys.
Thank you, Satan, we'll pass it on, mate.
That's right. We will pass on the message. Raping the minds of everyone on earth.
Yeah.
Did Satan seek consent? Did he seek consent? Nah.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter because these things aren't. They're not true. These are
To
not.
be
these are not-
fair, I like
these are
my
not
mind
real.
raped. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm descending from someone who ate from the tree of knowledge, because now
You
we
want
have
your mind
knowledge.
raped?
I
Ah,
don't want to. I don't
Doug
want to be a.
wants his mind raped.
I don't want to be a sheep and follow all that nonsense as sheep
Mhm.
do. I'm glad the tree of knowledge was violated, and we've passed it, and that knowledge has been passed on to the likes of us. Whereas the followers and the sheep will have gone, yeah, God, Jesus, you're all going to hell if you don't believe. Yeah, fuck them, idiots.
What does this mean? I don't honestly not getting it. I'm not understanding all this.
Wesley's
Yeah,
just a
that
theist. He's just a theist. That's
Thank you
going on
very much
about
for helping
and
expose
It
seems
just
like
everything.
needs help.
conspiracy.
Richard, there's a theist there, and he's a decent theist. He's honest, and he puts up with our nonsense towards
Richard, thank you.
towards
Richard says, please encourage Wesley Curry to seek help from mental health professionals. Everyone, thank you, Richard. Makes
and
sense.
Thank you, Richard.
yeah, and we
Hail
love
Satan.
Richard. Richard is actually an honest theist that you can get along with.
Absolutely. I adore him. I do.
And he puts up with our nonsense against theism, because a lot of what we talk is
Need
nonsense.
the mark. What mark? Mark?
No, he's
Like
a
a
skid
birthmark?
mark.
I've got a birthmark actually. I've got a
It
Wesley-
birthmark.
seems to be a conspiracy.
I was born with that mark on my face here.
Wesley, you're the mark.
Yes,
You're
mark.
the skid mark on society. Go away.
Skid mark.
Right. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone,
Yeah.
good night. Jesus never appeared to me, so I don't know what you're talking. Who cares about
But
Jesus
yeah,
anyway?
no,
No
he's
one cares about
conspiracist.
Jesus.
He's conspiracist. I
I
just checked
don't
his
care
site.
about Jesus. No, thank you.
I just checked his site. He's a conspiracist.
Is he? What is that? Conspiracies? Oh, okay. I get it now. All right, good
But
night.
Christianity is conspiracist. Good night, everyone.
Right, good night.